The Plymouth Rockies have become a perennial power in the Northern Lakes Conference, and John Barron's team is undefeated in the league after a win over Warsaw last week. Tonight, they come to Middlebury to take on a young but hungry Northridge team that won the conference a year ago and still wants to bring the hammer. With names like Julius Graber, Cole Berger, and Reese Luking looking to defend that NLC title, will it be Ridge above all? Find out next on 46. The calendar has turned to September, the weather has turned a little autumnal, and we are ready for a head knocker in the NLC as Northridge and Plymouth collide on the 46th game of the week. And how you doing, everybody? Between the Hall of Famers, Bo Hunt and Bill Beck, it's Chuck Freeby. Bob Nagel on assignment tonight. He's emceeing the Rockney dinner over in South Bend. He'll be back with us next week. The Plymouth Rockies come in with a record of 2-1. That's familiar. What isn't familiar is anything else about the Rockies. John Barron has scrapped the wishbone and is running the spread. He's scrapped the 3-4 and is running the 4-3. What in the wide world of sports is going on here, Bo?
Well, he's trying to get a lot more kids involved and trying to really bring a lot of excitement to the program and also really use the speed that he has. I mean, he doesn't have the big, bulky guys that he used to and really try to pound down the throat. He's going to try to get out there, get on the edge, use that speed, and they got a great quarterback in Joe Barron. Yeah, that's his son, who's going to do a lot of work for him as well.
Well, Northridge has a great quarterback, too, in Julius Graber, and he was a big part defensively last year of a Northridge team that ran the table in the NLC, and they still haven't lost in the conference this year. But what does he have around him? Does he have enough?
Well, I think that's the big question. And Coach Wogelman, you know, year in and year out, their defense is what holds them together. That's really what gets them motivated, gets them through each and every game, and won the conference for them last year. Julius Graber, heck of an athlete. He has to control both sides of the ball tonight. He has to be very diligent in everything he does offensively and not make any mistakes out there.
Bill Beck, the Hall of Fame reporter, joins us on the sidelines tonight. And Bill, this used to be a gimme on the Plymouth schedule. It was like you and a 3-foot putt, just pick it up. But it hasn't been that way the last 2 years.
And really, since Tom Wogelman's been here, the elevation of competition has been better. If you look back at what they've done in the past, like you talked about the last 20, 25 years, Plymouth, check it off. Memorial, Wawasee, Northridge, head to Concord for a conference championship type of bout. This game was an automatic. Now under Tom Wogelman, 2 straight wins in this series. Tom Wogelman in 5 and third seasons, 39 victories.
Yeah.
The program in the previous 18 years, 40 total victories. So things have turned around. This is now a big game in the conference early in the year. Northridge versus Plymouth. Who'd have thunk it?
That is why we're here. But when we went to get Coach's comments tonight, well, you wouldn't have known it was a big game. A couple of loose gooses running around here, and, well, we did things a little bit differently tonight. And I'm tired of asking the questions on these coaches segments, so they're going to interview each other tonight. John, what do you want to ask Tom?
How's the food here tonight?
John, I'm going to tell you what. There's a great quarter-pounder hot dog you want to pick up. I just had one myself. It's good.
What do you want to ask John?
John, how was the trip down from Plymouth?
You know what? It's shorter, believe it or not, than to Kendallville and then Kokomo. So it's actually, this used to be the longest trip for us, but now it seemed like just, going north of town.
He also wants to know, why in the world are you running the spread now?
I'll tell you why, because we came up with this philosophy of if it's not on Madden, we're not going to do it anymore. So seriously, we just wanted to get more kids involved in our offense.
And how are you going to defend a spread? Have you ever defended a spread from John Barron before?
I think way back. Is this the first time you ran it, John, or did you do it way back when? Long time ago. I think I was maybe coordinator over at East Noble or something like that. But I tell you what, I see why he does it. He's got a lot of speed. He's got a lot of talent. And he's got some dudes that can just play football there, and so it makes sense.
Those are coaches.
I will also say, though, we have defended against his offense for many years of banging in each other, and that was always a great matchup as far as his offense and us trying to stop that thing.
Well, you know what? They're still going to be banging into each other. Let's get it started. Kickoff is next on 46.
This is the WHME TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by Thor Industries, Bethel College Admissions, Teachers Credit Union, Bill's Heating, Jordan Auto Group, IU South Bend, Electrical Workers Local 153, JV Macri Orthodontics, Crown Trophy, Imagineering Finishing Technologies, and the IHSAA.
This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week is being brought to you by the Jordan Auto Group. Simple, easy, and stress-free. Welcome, everybody, to the Middlebury Fall Festival pregame show. That Fall Festival coming up next Friday and Saturday here in Middlebury as we get you ready for kickoff with our Keys to Win, brought to you by the Jordan Auto Group. And when you take a look at the Plymouth Rockies, it's a young Rocky squad this year. And their leader on offense is the coach's son, Joe Barron, 6 feet, 165 pounds, and a junior, inserted into the quarterback slot in week 2 of the season. He's already thrown for 327 yards and a couple of touchdowns and run for 1 as well. And when they need things to happen on both sides of the ball, they're likely to turn to one of his classmates, Blake Davis, 6'1", 190, and a junior. Davis has been a solid running back this year, but where he really makes his bones is at linebacker. He is 5th in the state in tackles with 44 this season. The keys to win for John Barron's Rockies.
Well, the keys to win tonight for the Rockies, first off, great defense mentality. They need to make sure they stay in their lanes, play their own position, and don't overcompensate for Graber at any time. They need to win the line of scrimmage. That's both offense and defense. They need to really get that surge, be able to pick up a few more than 3-4 yards in that first down play. And don't give up big plays. That's not just in the passing game, that's in the running game as well. They cannot give any big plays.
And here come the Northridge Raiders out onto the field. Tom Morganman's team coming in with a record of 2-1 and an electric atmosphere here tonight in Middlebury. And one of the people that will make it that way is their senior quarterback and defensive back, Julius Graber, 5'9", 165 pounds. He may be slight of build, but he is not slight of stature on the field. He does a little bit of everything for the Raiders, as you'll learn throughout the festivities. And then Dominic Crowder's going to need to have a big game tonight. He's only a sophomore. Typically, he starts on the defensive line. Tonight, because of a disciplinary issue, he'll also start at running back for Northridge. So look for Crowder to try to have a big game for the Raiders tonight. The keys to win for Tom Morganman's ball club.
The keys to win tonight for the Raiders, they need to be physical, the most physical out there. Plymouth don't have a lot of speed. They got to use their physicality and really dominate. And the turnovers, they have to win that turnover battle. Plymouth scored 4 touchdowns this year on defense, so they really have to limit those turnovers and avoid 3rd and long. They need to make sure they get in 3rd short situations or pick up that first down on 2nd down or 1st.
The weather tonight ideal for the sport of football. It's a 67-degree night here in the Crystal Valley. The wind out of the northeast at 8 and just a little 10% chance of precipitation. The series dominated by the Plymouth Rockies until the last couple of seasons. Plymouth leads the all-time series 30-7. They first met when just a couple of years before Northridge entered the NLC in 1985, and last year Northridge won it by a count of 12-0. Last impressions about these two squads coming in, Bo?
Well, I think a lot of momentum is going Northridge way the last few seasons. Plymouth, they're in a transition stage, I believe. They're changing their offense. They're changing their defense. I think they made a big step last week against a good Warsaw team. So with Plymouth coming in here tonight, let's see if they can really continue that. And Northridge, you know, home game, great fans. They got a great supporting. Coach Wogelman has really developed this program and turned this program into something that the community can really come and support and get behind.
As for the coin toss, Plymouth won the toss, deferred its choice to the second half. So Northridge decided it wanted the football to begin the proceedings, and they will begin down to our left, which means Plymouth will kick it off with Dylan Gamble putting toe to leather. Bill Beck with the Bills Heating sideline report downstairs. Any final thoughts on this one before we tee it up?
Chuck, I'm interested to see some of the physicality. We talked about the difference in the new offense for Plymouth. Can they still be physical with a spread formation? I want to see if they can do that. I think it's going to be a big part of this game because Northridge is going to be physical up front with backs coming out of the backfield and the wide receivers trying to get off the line of scrimmage, Chuck.
Plymouth in the white, Northridge in the home green. The official blows the whistle, and we're ready for football on a Friday night in Middlebury. Dylan Gamble with the kick, and it'll be taken back at the 10-yard line by Northridge. And they'll come right up the middle of the field. All the way into Plymouth territory to the 46. This has been a bugaboo for John Barron all season long. He has not been pleased with his special teams, and Justin Puckett took it right through the Union Gap that time.
Oh, what a great return on that. Came up the seam, had some great speed, great blocking, was able to pick up some big yards and get across midfield to get them in great field position.
So an outstanding start for Plymouth as Julius Graber leads them off the sideline. The senior quarterback, much better running the football than throwing it this year, but he can be effective doing both. And he's looking at 1st and 10 in plus territory. Cade Lacey is the other back, along with Dominic Crowder. And it's Lacey taking the handoff around the right side, and lots of room to run. Cade Lacey, bulldog down with a horse collar tackle at the 6.
What a great job blocking on the corner, really seal and let him get to the outside and really use his speed and really get that hole.
First down sponsored by Weaver Furniture Sales. You get another look courtesy of Bethel College Admissions. And nobody barely laid a glove on Cade Lacey until Joseph Stiers brought him down from behind at the 6. Again, Graber flanked by a back on each side. Lacey on his left, Crowder on his right. It's Lacey, right side, looking for the end zone, didn't get there. Came up about 3 yards short before Nicholas Kraft, one of the safeties, brought him down. Let's meet that Northridge starting offense. As you take a look at Julius Graber, the quarterback, Crowder getting the start tonight along with Lacey, talented receiving core. And then along the front line, Ricky Howie gets the start tonight as he takes the place of the injured Jake Weber, who's on crutches. It is 2nd and goal from the 3. Look how wide the splits are for that Northridge offensive line. It's Crowder up the middle, touchdown Northridge. The touchdown sponsored by the Middlebury Community Schools, and Dominic Crowder wastes little time making an impact on this one. But I dare say a bow hunt at your age could have run through that hole.
That was a big hole, and you talked about the gaps and the splits they had. He went right through that hole, and they ran it perfectly. They were able to really spread Plymouth out, and he ran right through that hole.
Nolan Laughlin, a member of the soccer team, does the kicking on the extra points. Oliver Eveler is looking to the sidelines. There was somebody a little bit late. Tanner Baber finally gets out there for the extra point. Laughlin 4 for 4 on PATs this year. Make it 5 for 5. Northridge only needed a minute 19 to go down the field to take a 7-0 lead. And the big run, take a look at the blocking on this one, Bo, as we get another look from Bethel College Admissions.
Well, you see that at the start, they really get out. The running back is able to seal that off. And then a great job by the wide receiver as well to get the push out block.
Austin Floria had the big block from that wide receiver spot. And Crowder, after making a big block for Lacey, got his reward when they got down to the goal line.
That was a great job of really setting that block up. Great run, great first drive for Tom Wogeman and company.
And all set up by the special teams play. The big kickoff return put them in plus territory. As you take a look at Tom Wogeman looking for his 40th win at Northridge. He's already the winningest coach in Northridge high school football history, a program that dates back to 1971. Also was a head coach at Wawasee, and in his 12 years overall, Tom is 64 and 57. Now, Plymouth has some dangerous special teams, too. Seth Rundell is back deep to take the kick from Nolan Laughlin. It's a squib kick, and it'll only make it down to about the 15-yard line. And by the time Rundell picked it up, he had a cadre of green jerseys around him. Well done by the Northridge special team.
Yeah, great job of really getting down there and covering. Plymouth never able to get up to full speed on that run back.
So there's Joe Barron coming out onto the field, the coach's son, second one of John Barron's sons to play quarterback at Plymouth. Joe, 6 feet, 165 pounds, and a junior. Less than 50% on his passing so far this year, but he has thrown for 327 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Blake Reed is the lone back with him. Spread offense, Barron throws. It's caught by Jacob Deacon. His 4th grab of the year is good for 4 yards and will meet the Plymouth offense. It's brought to us by our friends at Michiana Contracting. You saw Reed. They've moved Cole close into the slot. He's very effective. So is Seth Rundell. And along that front line, Jackson Lee, the center, coming back from knee injury. You'll meet him at halftime. Our TCU Student Athlete of the Week, Quentin Crawford, gets the start tonight at guard, the sophomore. On 2nd and 6, it's Reed trying to go around the right side, and he had some pulling guards. And when Blake Reed is even, Blake Reed is leaving. Look out. Graber, the only one with a chance, and he's not going to get him. Touchdown, Plymouth.
Wow. Just like that.
Just like he did on 46 last year against Warsaw when he ran for over 200 yards in that game. Blake Reed likes seeing the 46 camera.
Blake Reed steps up. I believe in the game before that with Blake Reed, he did well. He did just as well. He likes to come out in the spotlight and really show it. What a great job blocking from the offensive line, and what a great job of really just getting that seam and going.
76 yards, no flags. And now the question is Plymouth going to go for 2 here? Finally, they run Dylan Gamble, the kicker, out onto the field. Play clock is down to 10, so Gamble, it might be a little bit of 1 with him out there right now. Play clock at 5. Barron, the holder. They got the snap off at 2, but the kick is no good. And we'll see how big that might be as this one goes along. But what a run by Blake Reed. He had a couple of big pulling guards in front of him, and Brayson Lesenby and Quentin Crawford, and they spun him loose, and he sprinted to pay dirt. What an explosive start on 46. This edition of the TV46 High School Football Game of the Week is being brought to you by Thor Industries, the world's largest RV manufacturer. John Barron on the sidelines. He got a new haircut this week, so that's not what happens to you when the kicker's not ready to go. That's natural for John, but I'm sure it was augmented somewhat by the recent festivities. 7-6 in favor of Northridge. Here's the kickoff. Puckett will take this one at his 9. Puckett up the middle again, and he's still on his feet. Puckett all the way to the 38-yard line. Another solid return by Northridge on special teams, and the two offenses equal right now. The difference in this game, clearly 1 point special teams.
Yeah, I think the big thing right now is the defenses really need to make that adjustment. Only 2:05 gone in the game after those first 2 touchdowns, a couple plays for each offense. Defense will start to settle down here. We'll start to see those defenses really setting in here in the second quarter, or the end of the first quarter here.
So we've already had as many points in the first 2:15 of this one as we did all last week for St. Joe and Marion. Graber in the gun. That's Cade Lacey on. Nope, Graber kept it himself. And Graber spinning away from people, finally taken down inside the 40 at the 39. First down sponsored by Weaver Furniture Sales. And the Plymouth defense brought to you by Michiana Contracting. Diego Garcia has had a good season so far. We told you about Davis, one of the top tacklers in the state of Indiana. In the secondary, keep an eye on cornerback Ivan Winkle. He's 5'8", 143 and a sophomore. Been very active so far this year, but with that 5'8" size and being so young, let's see if Northridge tries to pick on him a little bit tonight. It's 1st and 10 from the Rocky 40. Graber wants to throw and does out in the flat to Austin Floria. Floria finally taken down by Nicholas Kraft at the 34-yard line. Pick up a 6, but there's a flag down on the play, and I think Aiden Berger had a block in the back that time.
Yeah, he came out and tried to make the adjustment a little bit on the DB running up, and a lot of times when you try to make that adjustment, you're better off just letting that guy go and not making that block.
That was your excuse all the time, right?
That was when I was running, yeah. Ruli's of Middlebury is proud to support Northridge Athletics. Ruli's is a family dining Italian-American restaurant offering a full menu, including pastas, entrees, and pizza. Visit them at rulispizza.com or at either one of their 2 locations in Middlebury across from the high school or in Elkhart on County Road 17. A big thank you out to Ruli's for feeding our crew tonight. What a great job, and go Raiders.
It was very good. 10-yard penalty on Northridge sets up a 1st and 20 for the Raiders. And these are the kind of situations that any coach tries to avoid, but Tom Waugaman, especially with his ball club tonight, wanted to avoid long-distance situations against this opportunistic Plymouth defense. Graber throws again. There's Berger and dropping the ball. Aiden Berger was wide open and thinking about going upfield and forgot to secure the pigskin.
Looked like he took a couple steps on that. It almost looked like it might have been a catch and a fumble. NFL is definitely a fumble or a non-catch. No catch on that.
Nobody knows what a catch is in the NFL these days.
Wow.
Ezra Winkle in that Plymouth defense checking things out as Graber gets the play from the sideline. Brandon Mahoney coming in with the play for Northridge on 2nd and 20. Right at the midfield stripe. Plymouth coming on a blitz. Here comes Winkle. Graber got rid of it and a little too soon for Mahoney. And he felt the pressure coming from the middle linebacker for the Rockies, Ezra Winkle.
Winkle came in and Graber had to get rid of that ball just a little earlier than what he wanted to. The receiver hadn't cut out of his route yet and wasn't ready for it when it got there.
A couple of very talented seniors going head-to-head there with Graber and Winkle. As there you see Ezra, a member of the Plymouth baseball team. He had a fumble recovery for a touchdown last week against Warsaw. It's 3rd and 20. Graber steps up in the pocket, throws over the middle. It's incomplete. Looked like it went through the hands of Austin Floria that time. He would have been right at the 1st down marker. And instead, 4th down in what would appear to be a punting situation. Graber is the punter on this Northridge team.
Yeah, he had the guy underneath open, but it would only pick up maybe 10 yards instead of the 20 that they needed. Might have even been better to go to that person and maybe see what they got out of it.
Graber averages 39 yards a kick. Seth Rundell is going to let this one roll, and it just is down at the 1-foot line.
Wow.
What a play. We're going to get another look at this one on the Bethel College admissions replay, and you'll make the call at home. Watch Rundell let this one roll. I thought it might have crossed the goal line, but apparently it did not. What a play by Austin Floria to keep that one from going on in.
Wow, what a great job getting down there. As a returner right there, your job, you might want to try to block that guy and let that ball get in the end zone as well. One little extra roll and that goes in the end zone.
So 1st and 10 from the 1. Joe Barron standing in his own end zone to take the snap. He'll hand it off, and it's a safety for the Northridge Raiders. Tanner Baber comes in and makes the hit on Blake Reed in the backfield, and Northridge puts 2 more on the board. And again, set up by special teams.
Yeah, what a great job on the special teams today so far for Northridge. And really the defense being more physical at the line of scrimmage, getting in there, comes right off the block, sets them up right in the backfield, drives them to the ground.
So Baber, the 5'9" junior, comes up with his first points of the season, and it's a 9-6 Northridge lead. Big plays on special teams tonight, and I know we've talked about it incessantly so far, but in the first 3.5 minutes of this game, there have been 3 key special teams plays.
Yeah, and all of them, Northridge has done a great job on them, and really the big return early. And, you know, that set it all up, I think. That was the biggest thing that kind of set the tone of this game is opening kickoff.
Then the botched extra point.
Yep.
And now the punt being down inside the 1 leads to 2 points for the Raiders.
See if Northridge can continue that here with a big return here on the safety return.
Justin Puckett is the deep man. spinning kick from Gamble. It will be one of the up men who takes it at the 35 and is into Plymouth territory at the 48. So again, Northridge, I think that might have been, I thought it was Cade Lacey, but that was not Lacey. That was Bryce Justice on the return that time. And he gets into the Plymouth territory to the 48-yard line.
Great field position again, and Northridge looking at possibly picking up some more points. Still, less than 4 minutes haven't even come off the clock yet in the first quarter, 9-6 ball game.
If you tuned in late for this one, I'm sorry. You've missed a lot. We may not get this much scoring in basketball season in 3.5 minutes. Graber hands it off. And that's big Dominic Crawford filling in at running back tonight. He picks up 3 yards on the carry. Crowder, a 5'11", 210-pound sophomore who runs on the Northridge track team.
Hey, if you want to be a part of our exciting high school game of the week, well, WHME TV 46 and Pulse FM are hiring. Send your resume to sales manager at pulsefm.com today.
So Crowder with a 3-yard pickup, 2nd and 7. Again, Graber in the middle of the shotgun formation. This time it's Cade Lacey around the left side. Crowder gave him a block, and Lacey gets the first down, sponsored by Weaver Furniture Sales. They'll take it up to the 37-yard line, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Northridge. By the way, that Plymouth touchdown tonight, that's sponsored by Michiana Contracting, and the Northridge safety sponsored by the Middlebury Community Schools. It's all happening so fast and furious, it's tough to keep up with.
Yep.
First and 10. Graber fires and has his man. I believe that's Bryce Justice up to the 31-yard line. Pickup of 6 on the play. Justice, a 5'8" senior, making his 3rd grab of the season.
Northridge is really spreading it out a lot with their offense rather than just running the ball and being a powerhouse football team. Graber's really hitting those corners on the outside of the short passes, trying to open some stuff up for that running game up the middle.
Looks very comfortable in the pocket.
Yes,
he
does.
We saw him play quarterback a couple of years ago, and then Nick Hooley was the quarterback we saw from Northridge last year, and now we've got a flag on the play as Diego Garcia came roaring in from the defensive end spot to make the hit behind the line of scrimmage. But we'll see what the call is here, and it looks like it's a hold against Northridge. Gregory Branda, the white hat tonight, joined by John Brown, Terry Leake, Russell Schultz, and Charles Thomas. And Tom Wagaman will have to dial up a long-distance play here because you would assume that Plymouth will take the penalty. A holding call will move it back quite a bit.
Yeah, holding foul from the spot of the foul in the backfield. That's going to move him back pretty far now. 2nd and 16, I believe, 2nd and 15.
Yeah, it's going to be 2nd and quite some distance. They've got to get to the 27. They're back at the 46. Scoreboard says 2nd and 15, but it's more like 2nd and 19, to be honest. Justice in motion, and Justice on the end-around sweep, cut it inside and was tackled by Nicholas Kraft after a pickup to the 43-yard line. Got maybe 3 yards on the play. It'll be 3rd and 16.
Another 3rd and long that we talked about, keys to win for Northridge, getting out of those situations. Last series, he tried to go deep on that 3rd and long rather than hitting the under guy and letting him try to work for that first down and maybe even going for it, because that's kind of the 4th down territory where they could possibly go for it. Well, so we'll see if maybe they hit that under route instead of trying to get it all in one swoop.
And if you look at the numbers against Plymouth on defense this year, they have been susceptible to the pass. They've given up 137 yards a game in passing yards. Justice in motion. Graber wants to throw. Here comes pressure, and Graber will run. And Julius Graber takes a lick at about the 37-yard line. He had to get all the way to the 27. And a late flag comes in after some extracurriculars.
Yeah, looked like we might be getting a personal foul. It could be offsetting, but they usually catch the guy who retaliates, and this one might be on Northridge.
John Barron looking on from the Rockies sideline. John in his 15th year as the head coach at Plymouth High School. 111 and 48. longtime assistant to Tom Condon. Bethel College admissions with the replay. Look at the right of your screen on this, and you might see what happens here with the extracurriculars. As, well, there was a tackle right there by one of the Northridge players, and then they just kept on going. So Mahoney and Winkle were into it well down the field. The officials having a long summit about this. And we'll see what happens. But it looks like a 15-yard mark off against the Raiders.
Personal foul, yep. And it is a dead ball foul, so it is after the play. So it is 4th down and extremely long at this time.
So if Tom Wagaman had any thoughts about going for it, those just got erased. Fourth and 25. Seth Rendell is the deep man. Graber averages 39 yards a punt. He tried to kick it away from Rendell, and it went out of bounds at the 22-yard line. So only about a 30-yard punt, but no return that time. So with 5:17 to go in the first quarter, let's all take a breath. Northridge leads Plymouth 9-6. You're watching high school football on TV 46. Chuck Freeby, Bo Hunt, Bill Beck back with you in Middlebury. 5:17 to go first quarter. 9-6 the score in favor of Northridge. Seth Rendell couldn't get around on the end around because there was terrific pursuit by Reese Luking, the defensive end. Luking with his second tackle for loss in the season. He smelled this one coming.
Well, Plymouth's now run 4 offensive plays. Their first 2, a completed pass for 4 yards, a touchdown. And the last 2 are tackles for loss. 1 for a safety, and this one a 6-yard loss. So we'll see if Plymouth can really kind of get their offense going. They haven't been on the field much. It's been more of their defense that's been on the field so far.
By the way, that last Northridge punt sponsored by our friends at 41 Degrees North. Here's Joe Barron looking to throw. Down the field, has his man. That's a first down. It's sponsored by the Bowling Vision Center. Seth Rendell with the catch. Rendell, his 6th reception of the season.
Interested in improving all areas of your fitness program or sport? Well, join the Strength and Conditioning Center in Mishawaka at Beacon Sports Performance. They offer youth, high school, and adult performance training. Visit beaconhealthandfitness.org today.
Rendell, a sprinter on the Plymouth track team, showed his speed right there. 1st and 10 from the 39. Handoff in the backfield. Blake Reed bobbing and weaving his way for 4 that time to the 43-yard line. Reed had that 76-yard touchdown run on Plymouth's first possession.
Despite all the Plymouth miscues in this game, a touchdown right here, and heck, they're leading the ball game at that point, you know. So it's still very early in the game. Coming up on 3.5 minutes left in the first quarter.
John Barron told me earlier this week he felt his offense was starting to find its groove. We'll see if Reed can help them with that here. He stayed on his feet, but it looked like he got knocked out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. That'll put him about 4 yards short of the first down on 3rd down. Blake Reed, terrific athlete. John Barron says pound for pound, he may be the strongest player on this Plymouth team, and he looks at 6'1", 195 pounds and a senior.
Yeah, he's got the speed to go with it as well, and just not the size. I mean, he's very physical out there, but when he wants to turn all that speed on, he's got it as well.
3rd and 4. We'll see if the Rockies air it out here. Nope, they give it a Reed on a draw play, and he's got the first down and more, lowering the shoulder to run over people at the 46-yard line. The first down sponsored by the Bowling Vision Center. Reed with those strong legs, he can squat 405 pounds, and he just manhandled some tacklers that time.
He did. You can see it right here on the Bethel College replay. I mean, just coming up, driving those legs, the determination right there, just keep on going and driving and to get that first down.
Andrew Himes gave him a nice block to open up the hole, and now Reed tripped up at the 45-yard line that time. Good penetration that time for Northridge as Cade Lacey, the linebacker, made the hit.
Northridge really bringing those linebackers on blitzes up the middle. As soon as they see that run, maybe even a little early, and see if maybe Plymouth can pick up on that and maybe hit a little veer pass over the top where those blitzing linebackers are coming from.
There's a lot of familiarity not only between the two head coaches, as you may have noticed in our pregame show tonight, but among the staffs. Mike Logan and John Barron were teammates together at Butler as the pass goes over the middle and completed up to the 40-yard line. It's Cole Filson making the catch that time for Plymouth. Filson with his 9th grab of the season. The former quarterback will be about 4 yards short of the first down. Do we have a flag on the play?
Yeah, they did throw a flag on the far side, and might be an illegal pass interference. It is, yeah. They were holding Filson, I believe, on that play. Great fake. We just talked about that as, maybe hitting that veer pass over the top of those blitzing linebackers. They just did hit Filson on that, but the pass interference, they're going to pick that up.
So that'll be a first down, sponsored by the Bowling Vision Center. And I mentioned the name Mike Logan. He's the defensive coordinator for Northridge, and he and John Barron were teammates. By the way, we welcome those of you who might have planned on watching the Cubs and Nationals tonight to our Facebook live stream sponsored by Holy Cross College. Cubs and Nats were rained out. Barron looks to throw. In trouble. He's going to try to scramble, and down he goes. Cole Berger with his 2nd sack of the year. And it's a big loss for the Rockies, a 12-yarder, as Berger chased down Barron in a battle of 12s. You'll see another look from Bethel College admissions.
What a great job by Northridge, really getting in the backfield, keeping control and not over pursuing on that play. So when Barron cut back, that he wasn't able to get that backside position on him.
Dominic Crowder was also in pursuit that time, but Berger got there first. 2nd and 22. Barron on a screen pass. Well developed here to Cole Filson. And Filson lost his feet at the 36. That's a huge break for Northridge because he looked like he had room to run.
Yeah, it looked like he almost cramped up or something the way he fell down. We get a nice little replay here, hopefully, from Bethel College. But he had lots of room on this play, lots of blockers up front. Oh, he tripped over his lineman's foot right there. He went to cut around him rather than staying behind.
Give Andrew Himes a tackle on that one. It'll be 3rd and 16. Rendell in motion, but Barron goes the other way on the bootleg. He's going to chuck it down the field, and it is incomplete. He was looking for big Garrett Schremeyer, the 6'3" junior receiver, but good coverage out there. Oliver Evler was out there along with Austin Floria to help break it up for Northridge. You get another look courtesy of Bethel College admissions. Just off the extended fingertips of Schremeyer.
Had a second chance there, almost went right off his shoulder pad. If he was able to turn his body back around, he might have made that secondary catch.
So looking at a 4th and 16, and Joe Barron might be punting out of this situation. We'll see. Nope. They snap it. He wants to air it out. Down the field, and it is incomplete. Oliver Evler, the junior safety, breaks it up and takes it away from Seth Rundell, and the Northridge defense holds. And one more time, Bethel College admission steps up with the replay here. Good head turn that time by Evler. Whatever contact there was appeared to be incidental.
Yeah, he got his head turned around, really wasn't holding or anything like that. Great field position now again for Northridge.
First quarter tonight brought to us by the Middlebury Fall Festival on September 14th and 15th here in Middlebury. 9-6 in favor of the Raiders. Up the middle. Dominic Crowder running very well for only being a sophomore. Takes it up to the 43-yard line. Probably could still drop that pad level a little bit, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely. He could have got a little bit lower on that. Maybe picked up a few more yards if he was able to lower that level just a little bit more. Brings up 2nd and 3. 30 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Moving all along now.
Josh Beard checks into the game. He's the receiver at the bottom of your screen. Up the middle it goes. Crowder short of the first down by about a yard. And that will likely do it for period number 1 here at Raider Field in Middlebury. Offensive fireworks in the first 3.5 minutes. A lot of big special teams play, and Northridge will take a 9-6 lead on Plymouth as we go to the second on a very emotional night here in Middlebury. All the players are fired up, so are the fans, so are the coaches. We're ready to rock in the NLC on 46. This edition of the TV46 High School Football Game of the Week is being brought to you by Indiana University South Bend, fulfilling the promise. Chuck Freeby, Bo Hunt, third member of our crew tonight. Bill Beck down on the sidelines with the Bills Heating sideline report. Your thoughts on that first quarter?
Boy, the speed of this game, Chuck, this game has always been such a physical, tug of war, bang, grind kind of a game. Now it's guys getting the edge. We've got jet sweeps. We've got guys turning their corner. We're going long and deep. I like the theme and the flow of this kind of game. It's not your typical Northridge Rocky kind of a game. I like it, Chuck. Almost 180 yards of rushing combined between the two teams in that first quarter.
Third and less than a yard, and Julius Graber will hang on to it himself on the carry and get the first down. It's sponsored by Weaver Furniture Sales. Our thanks to the Middlebury Community Schools for sponsoring our Facebook live stream tonight of this one. Hopefully you, wherever you are in this great world of ours, are enjoying this one courtesy of 46 Sports and the Middlebury Community Schools, who will be active in the Middlebury Fall Festival September 14th and 15th. That's our quarter sponsor tonight. First and 10 from the 48. It's Graber up the middle. He hung on to that ball as long as he could, made it look like he was going to give it to Cade Lacey, then kept it on the option for 9.
Yeah, what a great read by Julius on that. Able to really read that defensive end coming up and committing to the running back. He was able to cut it up and pick up a good 8.5 yards there.
Graber had 185 yards rushing in the win over Wawasee last week. Two-sport all Northern Lakes Conference player. He does it in football and he does it in wrestling as well, and you'll meet him at halftime. One of our TCU student athletes of the week. 2nd and 1. It's Lacey off the right side. He's got the first down. It's sponsored by Weaver Furniture Sales. Cade Lacey knocked down at the 39-yard line.
You know, September ushers in fall, and now is your chance to fall into great savings at Weaver Furniture Sales in Shipshewana. The annual September sale runs now through September 23rd for savings on beautiful handcrafted furniture from Weaver Furniture Sales. Stop by this weekend to see all the options for every room in your home. Weaver Furniture Sales since 1989 in Shipshewana.
So after holding on downs, Northridge has plowed the ball down to the Plymouth 39. It's 1st and 10. Plymouth showing blitz, and Northridge will try to run right around it. Cade Lacey works his way to the 32-yard line. And the Plymouth tackler on the play, a little slow getting up that time, was Tristan Sims, the 5'10 senior linebacker.
Northridge really trying to control the clock here, control the tempo of this game, and their offensive line's really doing a great job of really sustaining those blocks and giving those running backs some space to run.
Of course, it helps when you may have gotten away with a hold, as Dominic Crawford appeared to there on the replay. But if it's not called, it's not a hold.
As they say, every offensive lineman holds on every play.
You didn't mind that?
No, unless they got caught.
Speaking of getting caught, that's what happened to one of the Plymouth defensive linemen, Julius Graber. Very crafty as a signal caller. Managed to induce the jump off sides, and that'll get a free first down for Northridge, sponsored by Weaver Furniture Sales.
More than 50 years ago, encompassing 3 generations in the construction industry, Michiana Contracting has grown to one of the most comprehensive contractors in the state of Indiana. We have the resources and experience to handle the project from beginning to end and every aspect in between. Michiana Contracting in Plymouth.
Graber barks the signals. High snap, but Graber was able to control it and then spin his way up to the 34-yard line. Pick up a 3 on the play. Very athletic play that time by Julius Graber. described by his head coach Tom Wogeman with a great word. He's feisty.
Here we can see a great replay from Bethel College. I believe we'll see the high snap here to Julius Graber.
You already saw it once. Brody Burkholder would appreciate if you didn't see it again.
Exactly.
Burkholder, a returning starter at center. The lone one on this Northridge offensive line. And a little confusion in the backfield as well, with a couple of underclassmen trying to find their right place. They'll give it off to Lacey, and he was hesitating. Now flag comes in late as Diego Garcia makes the tackle. You wonder if a hand might have gotten into the face mask that time inadvertently.
I think they might have got the holding call in the end on that one. Wrapped his arm around the shoulder a little bit on that one and got the holding call. You're always going to get it on that.
This has been a big concern for Tom Wogeman about his football club, is the fact that Northridge has been averaging 100 yards a game in penalties, and Crawford got away with the hold a couple plays ago. He didn't get away with it that time.
Yeah, right there, you're coming in, and instead of really getting your hands into their chest, he reached his arm out and tried to kind of arm bar him. Did he really hold him and grab on and hold him? No, but when you reach out and kind of hold him with your arm, that's going to be called a holding call.
2nd and 19. They fake the end around. Graber wants to air it out deep. He's got his man. Touchdown, Northridge.
They're going to call a touchdown. Looked like his knee hit down about the 2-yard line and then reached across.
Brecken Judd on the catch, his 7th of the year. The sophomore hauls this one in on a perfect strike from Graber. And yes, he should have been down at the 1.5. Nevertheless, it's called a touchdown, and Nolan Laughlin is on to try the extra point. The snap is clean, the kick is up, and it is good. 8:14 to go in the first half, and a Northridge offense that's only averaging 16 points a game has already put 16 on the board. Graber to Judd. It's good for 6, and the Raiders are on the board on 46. And this edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week is being brought to you by Bethel College Admissions, equipping for lifelong service. Alongside the Hall of Famers Bo Hunt and Bill Beck, Chuck Freeby with you from Middlebury. Plymouth will have to rally tonight. They find themselves down by 10 on the road.
Yeah, what a great job by Julius Graber, really getting that ball up in the air, having a guy downfield get a little bit of separation and finding him, putting it right on the numbers, and great job with Northridge really sustaining that drive as well. They had a few penalties that pushed them back, but they were able to overcome those penalties.
Kickoff sponsored by 41 Degrees North. And it's taken by Rendell on the run at his 6. Rendell with a head of steam, look out. He gets to the 37-yard line. And it was a good tackle by Aiden Berger that may have saved a touchdown that time.
41 Degrees North is a full-service restaurant offering locally sourced steaks from Kalamazoo and serving both lunch and dinner. Check out 41 Degrees North in downtown Middlebury, featuring great burgers, brews, and craft cocktails. Go Northridge Raiders.
So Joe Barron and the Plymouth Rockies have their work cut out for them here, as the youth cheerleaders have had plenty of work on the sidelines for the Raiders tonight. Barron hands it off to Blake Reed. Nifty cut, and Reed works his way to the 44-yard line. Pickup of 7 on the play. There's the difference, though, in a cut on natural grass and a cut on field turf. Blake Reed makes that cut on field turf. He is probably got another yard or 2 behind him.
Yeah, and I think this is an important drive for Plymouth. They get the ball coming out at halftime as well. So it's one of those drives where they really need to get something going, make a drive down the field. You know, their only score was off a big run by by Blake Reed, and that's what they need to do here, is really sustain a drive, take some time off clock, get a good score.
Trips to the left of Joe Barron here, but they'll give it off to Reed going the other way, and Reed barely got the handoff and picked up a yard on the play before the Northridge defense collapsed on top of it.
Middlebury Chamber of Commerce invites you to the Middlebury Fall Festival next Friday and Saturday. Enjoy an antique tractor display, crafts, live music, kids zone, homegrown produce, great foods, and fireworks. A big thank you to all the Middlebury Fall Festival sponsors. For complete schedule events, visit middleburyfestivals.com.
3rd and 2, look at Northridge, pack them into the box. They've got 7 between the tackles. So Joe Barron's going to go to work down the field. He wants Schreemeyer on a bomb. He got him out of bounds. Schreemeyer with a great catch, and he steps out at the 19-yard line. Garrett Schreemeyer's 8th grab of the year. And the sprinter who had 3 catches against Warsaw last week comes up with a dandy here. Barron put it right on the dot.
Right off the face mask. Well, good concentration on that. He very easily could have dropped that. That ball coming off the face mask, he was able to get both hands on it, secure it, and step right out of bounds.
1st and 10, they'll spot it at the 19. You'll see the clock on the bottom right corner of the Thor scoreboard as Rendell makes the catch in the flat and has plenty of company. Austin Floria comes in with a nice open field tackle from the cornerback position.
I love that pursuit that Northridge has. That on those little quick passes out in the flats, they really get out there and really attack aggressively. And it's not just 1 or 2 guys, it's the whole team getting out there pursuing.
Well, there's been a lot of talk about the speed that Plymouth has, and rightfully so, but Northridge showing that it can counter with some speed of its own.
Yeah, definitely.
2nd and 12. Barron looking to his right. Flag comes in behind the play. Barron run out of bounds at the 22-yard line, but we'll see what the laundry's all about.
Looks like it's that area of a holding on the offensive line. Thor Industries loves this time of the year because team pride is on full display. That team culture from Friday Night Sidelines extends to our Thor Industries team. Build your future right here in Elkhart with one of Thor's excellent career opportunities. Get started today at thorindustries.com.
So Tom Wagaman looking at a spot infraction 10 yards from the flag that was thrown at the 24, so it marches it all the way back to the 34. And that'll force Plymouth into a 2nd and 25 right here.
Yeah, if he declines that penalties, it's probably a 3rd and 11 at that time, but now you make it 2nd 24, and you move them completely out of field goal range as well at this point.
That's the other key point to that. And that's what Mike Logan and Tom Wagaman are talking about on the sidelines. Joe Barron will have 3 receivers up to the top of your screen. Barron pitches the other way with Blake Reed, and boy, what a collision down there at the 30-yard line. You could hear that cracking and popping up here with Brandon Mahoney making the hit, and he looks a little worse for wear.
Yeah, it looks like he kind of rode the top of it, kind of might have went head to head. It looks like he's grabbing his ankle though. Can't quite tell on replay. He was stumbling around a little bit, but it looks like he is grabbing his ankle. Yeah, he's having a hard time standing up on his ankle, his shin maybe.
Trainers are over to take a look at him. In the meantime, Northridge looking at a 3rd and 20. Keep an eye on Filson, number 5 there in the slot. He's well covered, so Barron's going to air it out wide open, and he underthrew him, and it's broken up.
Wow, he was wide open just standing in the end zone. If he could have read that earlier and got the ball there, that was an easy 6.
Jacob Deacon probably wanted to call for a fair catch.
Yeah.
As this ball will hang in the air, and we'll show it at slow motion, so it'll hang up there even more. But 1, 2, Mississippi, 3, Mississippi, and Cade Lacey finally broke it up.
Kind of in that no-man territory here. Will they go for it? Will they do a pooch kick? Kind of a tough situation for Plymouth right here on this play because they're out of field goal range. They punt it. They might only pick up 10 yards if they punt it out of the end zone. Is that Graber kind of wobbling back there?
That is Julius Graber, slow to get up. I don't know what exactly he's indicating here, whether it's a hamstring. Trainer's laughing, so it can't be that bad.
I think they're talking about his butt bone, actually, the pad. I heard him mouth something about the pad, and they're looking at it.
Check out on the right of your screen. Graber kind of ran past the play, and then he landed awkwardly on the left glute.
Yep. There you can see him kind of grab it right there.
So Graber gets a pat on the helmet from Tom Wogeman because, well, Tom's not going to pat where it hurts. 4th and 20. Plymouth will go for it. Barron airs it out for Schremeyer in the end zone, and it's incomplete. Schremeyer wanted pass interference on Bryce Justice, but perhaps Justice served on that one.
That same pass play that they try to run down at the other end in the first quarter on a 4th down. They try to just throw a bomb down the sideline, hope for maybe a pass interference or a great catch by the receiver. Instead, another turnover on downs and able for Northridge to take advantage of it here with 5:02 to go.
Second time tonight that we've seen Plymouth make pretty decent penetration into Northridge territory. The first time it was a sack that took them out of it. This time it was a holding penalty. But Northridge's defense has a little bend, but has not broken much tonight. And now up the middle, that's Dominic Crowder running for 3 yards on first down.
Middlebury Community Schools, a top-achieving school district, is now accepting tuition-free transfer students. Middlebury Community Schools, where achievement and innovation are hallmarks of a great education.
Take a look at Tom Wogeman there on the sidelines. He is a bone marrow transplant recipient. Happened back in 1997 for him. He's doing well, as are the bone marrow transplant recipients in my household.
It's always great to hear. Great to hear the dedication that other people give in those situations.
Cade Lacey on the run. Nicholas Kraft with the tackle, but Lacey got the better of that collision and is just a yard away from a first down.
Yeah, the teams in this game are working toward a great finish, and so are the team from Imagineering Finishing Technologies. Partners with industry include aerospace, automotive, military and defense, medical and precision machining. At IFT, quality is a way of life.
Big 3rd and 1 here. Plymouth defense could really use a stop, trailing by 10 already. Handoff, good hole for Lacey, but a flag comes in. It might have been too good a hole.
Again, in that territory of the holding area, normally you're going to get that call. Bring up 3rd and long instead of 3rd and short.
Changes the entire complexion. It looked like they had a first down with room to spare, but as you take a look at this one, looking for where the flag came in, it wasn't. I think it was off to the right of where the hole was.
An area where it really didn't have any impact on the run itself.
So that'll push it back to the 32, and we've seen penalties really been the key to stopping the offenses tonight.
Yeah, a couple big plays on offense for both teams. Other than that, big penalties have really pushed them back.
On 3rd and 8, they're going to keep it on the ground with Cade Lacey, and what a nice job of getting to the outside by Plymouth that time. Joseph Stiers helped break it up, and I think you're right. I think there's another hold.
Yeah, he did a great job of really getting out there, and might have even picked up the first down, but again, a wide receiver possibly on the holding call. Came up, just got the jersey a little bit, and that'll be another spot foul. Moving back to now 3rd and about 13 or 14 at that point.
So you won't see this much holding at the school dances.
Hey, if you're interested in improving all areas of your fitness program or sport, join the Strength and Conditioning Center in Mishawaka at the Beacon Sports Performance Center. They offer youth, high school, and adult performance training. Visit beaconhealthandfitness.org today.
Now Northridge looking at a 3rd and 15. 2 first downs on back-to-back plays negated by penalties. Graber trying to pull the hat trick here. He fires, has his man on a slant pattern, but it'll wind up being about 10 yards or 5 yards short of the first down as Josh Beard makes the catch that time. Yeah, Beard got it up to the 36. They're looking at a 4th and 4 in punting time.
Yeah, they're going to try to get up to the line, maybe get them to try to jump off sides here to pick up that first down. But more than likely, they're going to punt it here and give Plymouth the ball with 2.5 left.
The other thing is Tom Wogeman wants Julius Graber to really work the clock here. There's still 15 on the play clock.
don't want to give Plymouth back the ball with plenty of time. I believe they have all 3 timeouts left as well.
And Plymouth has nobody back deep to take this punt. And finally, Northridge will use a timeout here. It's sponsored by 41 Degrees North with 2:28 to go before halftime. The Raiders still with a 16-6 lead on 46. Friends, this edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week is brought to us in part by Crown Trophy. They're nationally known and locally owned. Quite the line at the concession stand in Middlebury tonight. Why not? This is the place to hang on a Friday night.
Well, you know, beginning of the game, Coach Barron asked Coach Wogelman, you know, what was good at concession stand? I guess they have great burgers there, good dogs as well, and
Quarter-pound hot dog was what he
quarter-pound
was
hot dog.
advertising.
That's right. I might have to grab one of those, little mustard and onion on that thing. Put the order in. Grab me 2 of them.
Doesn't sound like a bad idea. 4th and 4, although Ruli's Pizza was very good tonight for the pregame meal, as Julius Graber's punt is taken by Rundell back at the 30. Folks, he had a 66-yard punt return earlier this year. Not going to happen here, and we've got a flag down on the play at the 42-yard line.
Looks like we might have had a block in the back, downfield down here. I'm going to move it over a little bit.
Brent Addis was trying to get down the field to help out on punt coverage that time, and I think he might have been the victim of the block in the back. So the officiating crew trying to figure out what will happen here. And the block in the back called, as you see Tom Wogelman on the left, John Barron on the right. Wogelman, well, he's a Ball State grad, Barron a Butler grad, but man, they enjoy playing against each other because they're cut from the same cloth. They have very physical teams.
Yeah, they definitely like to put out a team that's well represented out on the field, team that respects not only themselves, the community, their team, the game itself, and go out there and play the game the right way.
So 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. Joe Barron in the shotgun takes the snap and throws it to a receiver that didn't expect the ball to be coming, and that was Jacob Deacon, and they were lucky that that was not intercepted.
Yeah, he was downfield blocking on that play, and as the throw went to him in back of his feet.
How much of that is Plymouth still getting used to a new offense?
I think that might have been just a confused play on that one. It might have been an all-the-ball at the line of scrimmage or not heard the play right. I think they're pretty prepared, their offense. I haven't seen many miscues on plays themselves.
Here's Blake Reed on the run, looking for a block, and he got one that time from Brayson Lesenby, and then Reed gets taken out of bounds after he picks up a first down at the 39-yard line. First down sponsored by the Bowling Vision Center.
Teachers Credit Union understands the importance of growing your future. Whether you're growing your family, your square footage, or your business, Teachers Credit Union is here for you with the financial solutions that will help you succeed. Visit tcunet.com to start growing your future today. Federally insured by the NCUA, they're an equal housing opportunity.
Garrett Schremeyer had a nice block that time on the run as well. Barron looking to his right, finds Rundell, who falls down at the 35, and they lost 4 yards on that one. Time becoming a factor as we go under 2 minutes here before halftime.
Yeah, it's one of those plays where you get thrown in the backfield, you lose yards, and you get down. The clock continues to run. You'd have to waste a timeout. See if they can get the play in quick here and get down the field.
Barron hustled all the way over to the sidelines to get the play from his dad. He'll have trips to his right and Blake Reed there as well. Joe Barron throws and has Rundell again. Rundell with shifty feet gets knocked out of bounds at the 42-yard line. That stops the clock with 1:24 to go before halftime.
Looks like he was trying to get to the sideline. Wasn't sure he quite got there before his forward progress was stopped, but they will say that he was out of bounds and stop the clock. Bring it up 3rd and 8. Here you can see a great replay from Bethel College. See, he's really trying to work that sideline. Yeah, I'm not sure if he even made it to the sideline on that one.
Oliver Eveler hung on to that ankle as long as he possibly could. Barron steps up, throws. There's Rundell again, and he did not get the first down. He stopped at the 48. I think John Barron's going to have to use timeout here, don't you?
Depends if they really want to go for it or not, or if they're just going to come up. He does call the timeout.
He does it with 49 seconds to go before halftime, and his team looking at a 4th and 1 situation in its own territory at the 48. Plymouth this year only 4 out of 12 on 4th down. John Barron trying to get a little more time put on the clock here, I think, as he's talking to our lead official, Gregory Branda, about calling the timeout and maybe whether the play over here on the sideline should have stopped the clock longer than it did.
Plymouth did win the toss in the opening set. They deferred to the second half, so they will receive the ball starting the second half. 49 seconds here left in the first. Plymouth still trying to put some points on the board.
Don't forget, coming up at halftime, Bill Back will talk to one of the coaches on their way off the field, Tom Wagaman. We'll also have our TCU Student Athletes of the Week and our Ruleys of Middlebury halftime report. An explosive start to this one. It has settled into more of what we're used to from Plymouth and Northridge. And Plymouth looking at a 4th and 1, and they'll go with Barron in the shotgun. They give it to Reed. He got hit in the backfield and dropped. Tanner Baber with his second big hit behind the line of scrimmage tonight.
Northridge takes over at the 45-yard line. I believe 2 timeouts, 45 seconds. Plenty of time to get into field goal range for Northridge Raiders.
Reed barely got the handoff, and by the time he secured it, Baber was right there to make the hit.
Baber's having a huge night tonight. He came up with a big sack in the end zone for the touchdown, or for the touchback, for the safety. What a great job there with Baber as well.
Baber 3rd on the team in tackles entering this one. Had 4 tackles for loss coming into the action. 2 receivers to the right of Julius Graber, but he'll throw left. That's Aiden Berger on the slant pattern to the 36 before he's brought down. And Northridge will hustle to the line of scrimmage.
30 seconds to go from the 36.
Dylan Panzica on the stop that time. 2nd and 1. Graber throws, and it's dropped. Austin Floria couldn't hang on.
Wow, he had room too to run. Austin going to remember that one right there. Just off the hip, turned his head around too soon. Could have definitely picked up the first down and got out of bounds and picked up probably about 10 yards.
Now they're looking at a 3rd and 1 from the 36. And Graber will have 3 receivers to his right. Aiden Berger to his left. Graber looking over the middle behind his receiver, Floria. It would have been a heck of a catch had he come up with it. Now 4th and 1. You're not in field goal range. 18 seconds left. Tom Wagaman's got to draw up something here.
Well, in high school, of course, you do pick up the first down, the clock will stop. So they need to at least get that first down picked up right here to get them a little bit closer, and then maybe take a couple shots downfield after they pick up the first down.
Reese Luking comes in with the play from the Northridge sideline.
Look for Graber to probably keep this ball.
Floria sets to the left. Graber under center. He'll go forward, get the first down, sponsored by Weaver Furniture Sales. Graber all the way to the 26. 13 seconds left. Tom Wagaman will use one of his timeouts here. It's sponsored by 41 Degrees North. What a run behind Brody Burkholder, the big 225-pound center. And Graber then with some extra effort himself.
Northridge now getting almost within their field goal range. They're pretty close at this point. I saw kicking before the game. They were able to put it through from this point in the field, so I think they're close enough if they had to.
Nolan Laughlin 1 for 2 on the season, and he had a 34-yarder last week against Wawasee. This would be from here a 43-yard field goal if they had to go from here. The Northridge fans have had plenty to cheer about here with this young team. A baby-faced group of Raiders. And a lot of people thought, well, yeah, they ran the table in the NLC last year, but this will be the year when people get them. Well, they held off Wawasee last week, and they're giving Plymouth everything they want tonight. Graber with 3 receivers off to his right. Here comes Plymouth on a blitz, and Winkle got there and slams him down at the 29. And Tom Woggeman will use his last time out with 8 seconds left. Ezra Winkle with his first sack of the year.
Plymouth brought the house on that play. They were coming off the blitz, and they were daring Julius Graber to really get rid of that ball quick.
Graber did a good job to secure it that time.
Yeah, great job Winkle coming off again on a blitz. He's had a big night for Plymouth on the defensive side as well.
Winkle, the leading tackler on this Plymouth team a year ago, wound up being a junior all-state selection from the Indiana Football Coaches Association. And now trying to keep Northridge from widening this 10-point lead here before halftime. Meanwhile, the Raiders coming in here 2-1. They are one of 3 undefeated teams in Northern Lakes Conference play. Actually 4, Northridge, Plymouth, Northwood. And I kind of lost my train of thought there. I guess it is only 3. Here's Graber, looks to throw. Wanted to go to the end zone. He does go to the end zone, and it is tipped away at the last minute by Cole Filson. They were looking for Floria, but Filson managed to bat it away with 1 second remaining on the clock.
Yeah, that's a great scramble by Graber, and actually a really good throw, and Filson just able to get his hand on the ball just enough. That was almost another touchdown right there. They're going to try. Looks like they are going to try the field goal. I thought they were close to that range where they could possibly make it here. They're kicking it from the 36. Add 10 yards. That'll be a 46-yard field goal.
Nolan Laughlin, member of the soccer team, puts the boot to it.
He's got it.
It spins that way. It is no good. It was short. And so the first half comes to an end with Northridge on top of Plymouth by a count of 16-6. Bill back with the Bills Heating sideline report as Tom Woggeman.
Coach, an exciting start to this game, but you really kind of chopped yourself up with the penalties. How do you get rid of that bugaboo right now?
I'd like to know, Bill. I mean, that has been what we have continued to do week after week, and we're playing really good football, but I'm telling you what, we are just making those critical mistakes, and we just can't recover from them right now.
How about the...
That's what I've been telling you. I told you when you met up with me that we just are struggling, recovering, coming back from any penalty. You see, that's been a drive killer for us.
You think your defense is adjusting better to their offense if you get a feel for it right now?
Better. I mean, they've got some dudes out there that are running around really quick, but we're kind of getting a feel for it. Man, they struck us really quick in that first drive they had.
What kind of adjustments might you make at halftime here, offense, defense?
Well, I mean, really, we've just got to make sure that they are ready to go, that they're understanding what our fits are. We've got a couple little things we need to look at, but as far as how we're playing, I like where we're at right now. We just got to clean up those little things, Bill.
Thanks, Coach. Okay. Good luck.
All right, Bill, stick around, everybody. A lot to come your way on the Ruleys of Middlebury halftime report. We'll start you off with 2 terrific representatives of their schools in our TCU Student Athlete of the Week feature. It's a good one here in Middlebury. The Raiders lead the Rockies 16-6 on 46. Halftime of tonight's game between Northridge and Plymouth, and time to meet our TCU Student Athletes of the Week, and they're brought to us by our friends at TCU. Find out how you can be a member. Go online at tcunet.com. 2 outstanding representatives of their respective high schools, Jackson Lee from Plymouth, Julius Graber from Northridge, joining us here at halftime. As always, we'll start with the visitors first. Jackson is #1 in his class at Plymouth High School. All that while participating in a multitude of sports. How do you organize your time?
It's generally just going from practice and going home and studying and working on homework, just prioritizing my time that way.
Well, you had your time prioritized for you this summer a little bit too with a torn meniscus and coming back from surgery. Talk about the grit that you had to show for rehab there too.
That was really hard, just not being able to be with my teammates in baseball and football, and just having to go in every day knowing that I couldn't participate but just had to get stronger.
Somebody obviously instilled these values in you over the years. Who gets the credit for that?
My mom and dad are great. They always made sure that academics came first and always encouraged me to do my best in everything that I did, but specifically in the classroom first.
They named you after two generals. Maybe they thought you were going to go to military school. Instead, you're going to Cedarville University. What made you choose there?
My mom actually went there, and we took a trip out there, and I just kind of fell in love with it.
And you're going to hopefully play baseball there?
That would be wonderful. I've been talking with the coach, so we'll see what happens.
All right, that's Jackson Lee from Plymouth High School over here. Julius Graber, two-way player for Northridge. This is about the only time that he's outside the sidelines tonight. And as you have participated in your sports, you've put together a 3.99 grade point average while playing football and wrestling. So again, where do you find the time to squeeze it all in?
You know, just like his answer, it's just a lot of practice and then going home and studying, you know. I got to find time for that, and family as well, you know, that's a big thing for me. So, and luckily for me, I've been blessed with, like, it's come easy for me. Like, I remember things pretty well, so the Lord has blessed me with that.
A member of National Honor Society as well here. What are some of the things that you feel you need to do at Northridge High School in order to represent your institution?
Well, one of the things we do for the National Honor Society is a lot of service work, so we have to get a minimum amount of hours. And so different things that I do for that is, like, at the beginning of the season here, we had an MYFL day, which is our youth football, and they came out and we just rallied around with them and had a nice practice with them. And then just doing other things from, like, working with my youth group, and then, you know, here and there, other things.
Now, Jackson mentioned his parents. I don't want to put any pressure on you, but you know, who gets a shout out from you for putting your values into you?
Yeah, definitely my parents too, and you know, all my little siblings. I'm the oldest of 7, so having them around helps me prioritize things as well.
Is that why you wear number 7?
It's not, but it's an added bonus.
Well, finally, I know that you have not made a college choice yet, but you did indicate that you wanted to kind of look at business and advertising. What interests you there?
You know, I think I'm a pretty outgoing person. I can talk to people well, so I'd like to get into advertising and just, you know, be able to advertise different things to people. I think I have some pretty good ideas for how to get a hold of people and, like, get their attention. So, yeah, that's what I think would suit me.
Well, maybe you'll be advertising headbands someday. Julius Graber and Jackson Lee from Northridge High School and Plymouth High School are TCU Student Athletes of the Week, and it's brought to us by the folks at TCU. Find out how you can be a member. Join them online at tcunet.com. We've got halftime stats and highlights coming up next on the 46 Game of the Week. This edition of the TV46 High School Football Game of the Week brought to you in part by the electrical workers of Local 153. They're making our community brighter. So too is a wonderful performance by the Northridge Marching Band here at halftime. As we join you here on the Rulies of Middlebury halftime report, the Raiders have plenty to toot their horn about. They are leading by a count of 16-6. Chuck Freeby alongside Bo Hunt up here high above the fray. Your thoughts on that first half?
What a great job Northridge did on defense. I think they really stepped up. They showed how much presence they can have on the corners and keeping Plymouth, not letting them use their speed, I think was the biggest thing.
Well, special teams proved big in this first half, as you'll see in our first half highlights here. In fact, opening kickoff of the game, you're going to watch as Justin Puckett takes it right up the center of the field and takes it into Plymouth territory. And Northridge wasted little time. They gave the ball to Cade Lacey, and he toted it all the way inside the Plymouth 10-yard line. A couple plays later, Dominic Crowder takes it in for the score. It's 7-0 Northridge. And Plymouth answered just as quickly. Blake Reed like a lightning strike around the right side. 76 yards, no flags, 7-6 as Reed finally caught his breath down in the end zone. Unfortunately, the kicker didn't get out onto the field quickly enough. The extra point was no good. And then a big punt by Northridge pinned Plymouth back to inside its own 1-yard line. Tanner Baber makes the stick in the end zone. It's 9-6 Northridge at that point. But the Raiders weren't done yet. Second quarter, Julius Graber up top to Brecken Judd for 6, 16-6 Northridge. And while Plymouth would penetrate into Northridge territory a couple of times, the defense would always come up big. Baber with another nice stop. 16-6 as we look at the first half stats. Anything really stand out to you?
No, everything's pretty even across the stats there except the score, and I think a lot of that has to do with penalties and then also special teams as well. I think that was a big aspect. Penalties not only killed Plymouth, they killed Northridge as well. Very easily Northridge could actually maybe be up by 2 or 3 scores at this point if they didn't shoot themselves in the foot as well, on that. But Plymouth, on the other hand, they really need to stop committing those penalties, getting them in 3rd and long as well. And their drives, they're getting downfield, but they're not able to sustain those drives and get any points.
2 of these teams unbeaten in the Northern Lakes Conference, but only one will walk out of here that way tonight. Will it be Northridge or Plymouth? The Raiders are up by 10 as we listen to the Raider Marching Band, sponsored by the Middlebury Community Schools. And thanks to the Middlebury Community Schools for sponsoring us on Facebook Live. This edition of the TV46 High School Football Game of the Week is brought to you by J.B. Macri Orthodontics. Trust your smile to an expert. Chuck Freeby, Bo Hunt, and the third member of our crew tonight, the esteemed Bill Beck, joining us on the sidelines with the Bills Heating Sideline Report. John Barron, have any words of wisdom at halftime?
Yeah, he had a couple. He told me he had a couple he couldn't say on the air, so he kind of tempered himself a little bit. He said they didn't get off the bus very well at all. Didn't like the way they played physically. He said they got to get back to playing some Rocky football. Didn't like the defense at all. He was just kind of indecisive on what he wanted to do here in the second half. He just basically said, Bill, we got to play some more Rocky football in these next 2 quarters, John.
All right, well, we'll see if they can make an adjustment. The good news for them, Bo, they do get the second half kickoff.
Yeah, they definitely do. And for us, the good news for us is we had some leftover Rulies of Middlebury. They fed our crew today. They did a great job. Big thank you for Rulies. They support Northridge Athletics, and they're a family dining Italian-American restaurant offering a full menu including pastas, entrees, and pizza. Visit them at RuliesPizza.com or at either one of their 2 locations, one in Middlebury across from the high school or in Elkhart on County Road 17. Again, Rulies of Middlebury.
Nolan Laughlin's kickoff sponsored by 41 Degrees North. Third quarter sponsored by the Middlebury Fall Festival, September 14th and 15th. Away we go with second half action from Raider Field. That is Seth Rundell back at his 15-yard line. Rundell weaves his way up to the 31, and that's where Plymouth will start at 1st and 10. Rather pedestrian first half for Joe Barron at quarterback.
Yeah, they really didn't have a lot of momentum out there. I think it was Northridge's offense really sustained drives. Defense got them off the field as fast as they could, and Plymouth wasn't able to get in the groove at all in that first half.
So let's see what John Barron's idea of Rocky football here is. 3.5 games into the season and trailing by 10. They'll hand it off up the middle. Blake Reed with a stop-and-go run picks up about 5 on the play. And Zach Howie, the sophomore linebacker, was there to make the stop, a sprinter on the track team.
Blake, a typical straight-ahead runner, hesitated that time in the hole. Normally you're not going to see that out of him, but he did a good hesitation to pick up 6.
2nd and 4. Reed flirting with the 100-yard mark so far tonight. Here's Cole Filson, couldn't hang on to that one. I'm not sure if that was a lateral or not, but they're going to rule it as an incomplete pass, it appears.
It did look like he did throw it forward a yard or 2. See him, he's back at about the 31 there. Throws it forward a good yard. Yeah, it's definitely a forward pass.
So good call there by the officiating crew. We're looking at 3rd and 4 from its own 37. And they'll go back to Reed on the ground. Why not? Look at him go. Blake Reed, another great stop-and-go move. And finally taken out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Reed went over 100 yards 3 times last year. I think this might be his first 100-yard game of 2018. And he put on some moves on that run to get a first down, sponsored by the Jordan Auto Group.
What a great job of bouncing it outside. You can see here he does not want to go out of bounds there. Instead, he picks up another 15 yards just by making a little juke. Great job by Blake Reed.
Julius Graber got left in the dust, and it was Reese Luking who wound up making the tackle that time. Big first down for Plymouth, and Reed had nowhere to go this time as Zach Howie led the way with help from guess who was behind the line of scrimmage, Tanner Baber.
Yeah, Baber, what a great job. Northridge brought the house on that play. Everybody just selling out up the middle, knowing that Blake Reed's going to get that ball. Again, look for Plymouth to maybe counter that with something over the middle as all their linebackers are blitzing on those plays.
We have not seen Barron really run the ball himself tonight. Let's see if he tries to scramble here on 2nd and 13. Blitz coming up the middle. Barron will have to scramble. Keeps his head about him and throws it away. He put it where nobody could get it, well between Filson and Rundell.
Yeah, he definitely threw that ball away. He might want to throw it out of bounds next time as well. You know you're throwing it away at that point. Just go ahead and throw it away, but throw it out of bounds so there's no play.
You'll see another look here on the Bethel College admissions replay. A well-timed blitz right up the middle. And that's what flushed Barron from the pocket that time. As that was Joshua Bate coming on the blitz. Filson in motion, but it's Rundell on a counter coming the other way.
Room.
And there he goes. Gone, goodbye. Seth Rundell, touchdown, Plymouth. Beautifully designed play by the Rockies.
A great job of using that aggressiveness of Northridge, of really just selling out on that first read. And they did. They sold out on the first read, which was the fake, and then they were able to get it on the end around.
John Barron said if it's not in Madden, they don't run it. And that looked like a play right out of the video game that time. So now Plymouth will line up for Dylan Gamble to try the extra point out of the hold of Joe Barron.
Plymouth to try to get within 2.
Well, to get within 3 here. They're down 4. And the kick is up, it's spinning, and it's winning. And it's good with 10:24 to go in the third. And the Rockies with a very quick answer here in the third quarter.
Yeah, it definitely was. And, yeah, they did get within 3 now because they missed the first extra point. So now it's 16-13, but look at that great fake. Looked like they tried to flip it into the out guy, but it was actually a flip on an end around. Great blocking downfield as well. And big job of Plymouth not getting a penalty on that play to move them back.
Jackson Lee had a lead block. That had to please John Barron. You met Lee at halftime, #1 in his class, a member of the Key Club, a class officer, headed to Cedarville University to study. But he really did a great job of getting in front and making the room for Seth Rundell that time. And John Barron's team is right back in it.
Hey, what excitement we have. And if you want to be a part of this exciting high school game of the week, WHME TV 46 and Pulse FM are hiring. Send your resume to sales manager at pulsefm.com today. Looking for exciting career in broadcasting? Join us at WHME TV 46 and Pulse FM.
Plymouth touchdown sponsored by Michiana Contracting, a short spinning kick that the Raiders drop and fall on back at the 23-yard line. Nearly a disaster for Northridge that time, but Colton Puckett was able to fall on the loose change.
Hearing great, see a great Bethel College replay of it. Looked like there was a little confusion on who was going to get it. Luckily, they jumped back on it and got the ball back. That would have been a huge turnover here to start the second half.
As it is, Julius Graber in his sweat-soaked uniform come out 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line. And let's see, Northridge has a man jump offside right away.
Yeah, a quick false start, a quick penalty, exactly what Coach Wogelman talked about to Bill Beck going off the sideline is penalty after penalty after penalty. It's been with them the last 3 games now here in the 4th game of the season. They're still making these costly mistakes that really push them back here. Now 1st and long.
But one person who is in the game now that didn't see any action in the first half is Tug Modglin. He is the second leading ground gainer on this Northridge team. He sat out the first half for a team discipline problem, but he is in the game now. Graber throws behind, and it was almost intercepted. Ivan Winkle had his hands on it and is looking to the sky saying, why not?
He's going to be waking up at night tonight just thinking about that pass, how it was in his hands. Nothing but daylight in front of him. Here you can see a great replay of it. Right there in the hands.
If he hangs on to it, Plymouth likely has the lead. Plays like that will make sure that Ivan Winkle is not Rip Van Winkle tonight.
Coach Wogelman's going to call a timeout here. A little confusion.
I think he's got to settle his young team down right here.
I agree.
Timeout is sponsored by 41 Degrees North with 10:18 to go in the third quarter, and Northridge leading by 3.
September ushers in fall, and now is your chance to fall into great savings at Weaver Furniture and Sales in Shipshewana. The annual September sale runs now through September 23rd. For savings on beautiful handcrafted furniture from Weaver Furniture Sales. Stop by this weekend to see all the options for every room in your home. Weaver Furniture Sales since 1989 in Shipshewana.
Well, next Friday night we go over on the banks of the Elkhart River, the newly field turf rice field, for a pair of teams who are ranked in this week's polls. St. Joe, number 9 in 4A, visits Elkhart Central, number 8 in 5A. We'll have that for you on our 46th game of the week, Friday night 11, Saturday morning at 9, and on Facebook Live streaming at 7 p.m. 2nd and 15 for Northridge. Modglin in motion, but Graber keeps it himself, and look at Julius Graber take it up the field to the 29-yard line. Finally, Tristan Sims came over to make the tackle on Graber.
A good job of the offensive line really holding that in, sealing it off for him so he could turn it upfield. Good job of picking up big yardage there to bring up a manageable 3rd and 6 here.
It'll be interesting to see what Tom Wagaman goes with right here. 3rd down from the 29. They've got to get to the 34 to move the sticks. Here's a blitzer coming. Graber eludes him. Now looking down the field, directing traffic, and it's incomplete.
I think I saw 2 flags down on the play, both of them in that offensive line holding area.
Jake Reichard with good coverage on the play that time of Aiden Berger, but let's see what the laundry's all about.
If they do decline it on a holding call, it would bring up 4th down. It is a holding call. Will they move him back or just go ahead? Looks like they are going to decline it. Bring up 4th and 6.
I think they don't want to give Graber any more shots than he already has, and figuring inside their own 30, Plymouth expecting Northridge to punt it away right here.
Yeah, this is a point. Northridge still up by 3. They still got to try to take advantage of field position. If they go for it and don't get it, it gives Plymouth huge field advantage here.
Of course, when your quarterback is the punter, that opens up a myriad of options, and we'll see what they do here. But Graber drops back a couple of extra steps to boot it away, and Rundell takes it at his 39. Rundell tripped up at the 48-yard line. Good special teams coverage that time by Northridge, but excellent field position for the Plymouth Rockies right near the midfield stripe. Josh Beard on the tackle that time for Northridge.
Plymouth takes over, 9.5 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Here's the start of the 2nd half. Big drive on that first one to get them within 3. Huge touchdown. We'll see if Mr. Joe Barron and company and Blake Reed and Colt Filson here maybe connect on a pass play as well.
So 1st and 10. And Barron keeps it himself this time on the option, and Joe Barron still on his feet. Picks up about 9 on the play before Julius Graber knocks him down. And a nice elusive run that time for the Plymouth quarterback.
Yeah, you talked earlier about when Barron was going to get into the action. Well, here you go. Big pickup of about 9 yards on the play. Gets him into their Northridge territory here.
Joe is a very athletic young man. He's a three-sport athlete, plays baseball and basketball at Plymouth, and a big Cubs fan. Looking at a 2nd and 1. The pitch to Blake Reed. Blockers in front, and Reed cuts down the sidelines to about the 24-yard line. First down sponsored by the Jordan Auto Group.
The Rockies picking up chunks of yards now by their offense on the ground. Here you can see a great look at it coming right at you. Good job by Blake Reed cutting back, not wanting to go out of bounds, and picking up another 3-4 yards because of that.
So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 25 for the Rockies, trailing by 3, but they have really picked up the tempo here in the second half and the physicality along the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they're really setting the tempo of this game, not only on the pace of it, by the physicality of it as well. There's a great little flip forward, read well by Northridge, bringing up a 2nd and 11.
Zach Howie comes in and makes the stop on Cole Filson for a loss of 1 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 11. But the rushing star of this one for Plymouth has been Blake Reed. 15 carries, 175 yards for the senior speedster.
Again, Blake Reed showing up on Channel 46. Seems like every time we do a Plymouth game, he really comes out and sparkles on the spotlight.
He had 225 in our broadcast when they beat Warsaw last year. 2nd and 11. Barron wants to throw, going for the home run. Schremeyer in the end zone, too far. He had a couple of steps on his man, but Barron put it a step too far.
It's about the 3rd time he's trying to go deep to him down the sideline. That time he actually was wide open, but just overthrew him. First 2 times underthrown a little bit. That time just a little overthrown.
So 3rd and 11. And the Northridge defense has come up with some big stops so far tonight. Can they make another one right here?
Yeah, 2 big stops here on this drive here, making it 3rd and 11. Big down here for both teams, just out of field goal range for Plymouth. Northridge, on the other hand, need to really want to push them back even farther.
Barron fakes to Rundle, going up top to the end zone. Touchdown, Rockies! Jacob Deacon with the touchdown catch, his first of the year, and Plymouth has its first lead of the night.
What a great fade route on that. You can see the ball and the receiver just kind of slowly fading to the outside, looking over his inside shoulder and just kind of falling to the ground, and the ball just laying right in his lap. Great throw, great read, great catch.
For Joe Barron, his 3rd touchdown toss of the year, and that was a thing of beauty. Here's Dylan Gamble on to try a very important extra point. It would put him up by 4. Snap is clean, the kick is up, and it is good. 7:30 to go in the 3rd quarter, and boy, have the Rockies turned this one around in the second half. 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns. This one an aerial strike from Joe Barron to Jacob Deacon, and the Rockies take the lead. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week is being brought to you by Imagineering Finishing Technologies, IFT, where quality is a way of life. Well, they're celebrating over on the Plymouth sidelines, and maybe they're watching on the banks of the Yellow River tonight down in Plymouth. The Rockies steamrolling from behind here in the 3rd quarter, but on that kickoff, as Michiana Contracting sponsors the touchdown, Northridge gets a pretty decent return and takes it back to the 35-yard line, and that's where they'll set up 1st and 10 as Brecken Judd had the return that time.
Kind of similar to the first half. We saw a lot of scoring very early in the game here. 2 touchdowns already in the first 4.5 minutes of the second half. We'll see if Northridge can really capitalize now on this good field position starting at the 35-yard line and sustain a drive here in the second half.
It was 3 and out for the Raiders, once again succumbing to penalties, but this time big hole up the middle and close to the first down marker, if not there. On the carry that time was Cade Lacey. Lacey moves it for 10 yards, and the sprinter from the track team picks up a first down, sponsored by Weaver Furniture Sales. Lacey ran for 66 yards last week in the win over Wawasee. So the Raiders come out, open up some holes in the middle of that Plymouth defensive line. And let's see if they attack it again. They do. Graber went right up the middle this time and picks up a couple before Diego Garcia puts him in the turf. Garcia, a member of the wrestling team, would have picked up 2 points for that in the winter.
More than 50 years ago, encompassing 3 generations in the construction industry, Michiana Contracting has grown to one of the most comprehensive contractors in the state of Indiana. We have the resources and experience to handle a project from beginning to end and every aspect in between. Michiana Contracting in Plymouth.
2nd and 8. Man in motion. Graber fakes it that way, and then he's taken down a yard deep in the backfield. Good penetration that time by Garrett Hogg, the defensive tackle. First time we've called the senior's name tonight. 6'4", 255-pounder, got in behind the line of scrimmage.
A little cool night tonight. I'm sure the grass is starting to get a little wet out there. Makes that cutting a little bit more important to cut on that outside foot rather than the inside foot. You cut on the inside foot like Graber did right there, you're going to fall down.
We go back to our keys to win. And Tom Wuggeman wanted to avoid 3rd and longs. He finds his team in one now. Graber steps up in the pocket, finds his man, but Aiden Berger is taken down right away by Jake Reichard, the sophomore cornerback. Tell you what, the sophomore corners on this Plymouth team, Winkle and Reichard, have done a nice job tonight helping control this Northridge offense.
They definitely have. They've done a great job of really keeping the receivers in front of them and then also really supporting the running defense as well. Here in 4th down from the 50-yard line, a big play here. See if Wogelman and Graber go for it or if he's just going to drop back and punt it.
Graber stepping back into his normal quarterback slot. Now he backs up 2 steps, and that's usually a signal they're going to punt. But he fakes it, and Graber got the first down. What a play.
Wow. It takes guts really to call that. He did. What I like about that play is he did not throw that first pass when the guy was covered. He looked to try to make that quick first down. You can see it right here on the Bethel College replay. That guy was not open, not going to get the first down. Instead, he tucks it, runs it to the opposite side, and just picks up that first down.
Sponsored by Weaver Furniture Sales. He is fun to watch, folks. We did a feature on him on Twitter this week. He just loves to play the game of football, and it shows. 1st and 10 from the 44. Now Graber keeps it himself. Pulled it out on the option and gets 9 yards on that carry. And Julius Graber, who does a little bit of everything for this Northridge team, showing it again. I mean, when you look at where Julius Graber stands in the team ranks on this team, he's 1st in rushing yards, 1st in passing yards, 1st in return yards, 1st in interceptions, and 1st in tackles.
I would put 1st in punting yards on there as well, since he is the punter. So he would have the highest average on that.
Trying to catch his breath a little bit here on 2nd and 1. So he'll hand it off. And Tug Modulin with his first carry of the night nearly had it stripped away, but instead gets the first down all the way to the 25.
Check out 41 Degrees North in downtown Middlebury, featuring great burgers, brews, and craft cocktails. Go Northridge Raiders, 41 Degrees North.
Modulin with a first down carry, sponsored by Weaver Furniture Sales. He had 113 yards rushing against Wawasee last week. 1st and 10 from the 25 for the Raiders, trailing by 4. They'll hand it off. It's Modulin again, this time with both arms around the football, and he carries for about 4 yards down to the 21.
Northridge really picking up some steam here, getting some momentum, filling that drive. We'll see what Coach Wogelman talked about at halftime, penalties. They get down in this area, they get something going, and then a penalty happens. Right here, second, manageable right here, 2nd and 5. See if they can able to sustain this drive, getting into the red zone and not have a big penalty.
See the scoreboard, our Thor Industries scoreboard at the bottom of the screen. It is Modulin, a quick hitter up the middle, and he's got the first down. Tristan Sims brought him down, but not until he moves the chain, sponsored by Weaver Furniture Sales. Ricky Howie with a nice block that time to help open up the hole.
Northridge hurrying to the line, running a no huddle now. They believe they got Plymouth in a defense that they like.
1st and 10 from the 14. Graber keeps it himself, hauled down from behind after a pickup of 2. Ezra Winkle has been everywhere for the Plymouth defense tonight.
Going on just over 4 minutes on this drive, so very long drive for Northridge.
But all the more important that they got to finish it off by putting points on the board. They're certainly within field goal range for Nolan Laughlin, but they'd like to get the lead back. Less than 3 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Handoff Modulin, dodging tacklers to the 2.
Big first down, getting down to the 2-yard line for Northridge. Really sustaining this drive.
Sponsored by Weaver Furniture Sales on the first down, and Northridge wasting little time getting to the line of scrimmage. It's 1st and goal. Graber under center. Keeps it himself. Can he get in the end zone?
Not sure he got in. He stood up right there. Got down to about the 1, maybe the half-yard line is where they're going to mark it.
They'll mark it inside the 1. Good call, Bo. He's down to about the half-yard line. Tried to go right behind his big center, Brody Burkholder, and now Graber celebrating like it's a touchdown. But I think the official has it marked at the 1. They had already put the points up on the scoreboard. They had to take them down quickly. So now Graber, it's Lacey to his left, Modulin to his right. But it's Graber behind center. Did he make it this time? No signal from the linesman yet.
It's almost like he might have made it across, but they can't see that, so they're going to mark him down at the half-yard line again, because you cannot see that from where they're standing. That's a tough play.
Big goal line play that time. Diego Garcia and Garrett Hogg coming in to stop that one for Plymouth. It's 3rd and goal from the 1. Will Tom Wogeman try to slam it up the middle again?
This is almost one of those plays where you do maybe the Tom Brady or Drew Brees and you put that ball over the goal line and then bring it back just to get it across that goal line. But they're going to go from the shotgun and maybe let Graber follow the running back in.
Instead, he gives it to Tug Modulin. Modulin to the end zone, touchdown.
Great drive by Modulin, driving those legs because he was stopped short.
He just took Joseph Stiers for a pony ride that time. And Modulin with his first touchdown of the year, and you'll get another look of it, courtesy of Bethel College admissions. Not much lead blocking, but he just carried Stiers on into the end zone for the score. Big extra point here. Nolan Laughlin puts it up, and it is good. 1:30 to go in the 3rd. The seesaw now goes to the Raiders, who take a 23-20 lead, and you'll get another look at this big play on the special teams, I guess you could call it. The fake pump by Julius Graber that kept the drive alive.
Yeah, there was no penalties on this drive against Northridge, and they were able to capitalize. Great job by Graber, faking that out there and then taking it to the backside. It might almost look like it was a planned fake pass there, but I think it was more of a read because the guy was open, but he was not getting the first down.
I want to go downstairs for a Bills Heating sideline report with Bill Beck. And Bill, you've been around Julius Graber now as long as we have, about 3 years of watching him play football. What is it that makes him so special?
Well, I'll tell you what, first of all, when you went back to Monday's practice, when I came out to Northridge and walked through some of the morning drills, defensive coordinator Mike Logan looked at me and says, if 7 goes down, we got a lot of trouble. And offensive and defensively, I just think because he looks so non-athletic. He looks like just an average kid. He doesn't look like a physical specimen. But I'll tell you what, Chuck, that 4th down conversion really sparked his sideline.
Kickoff sponsored by 41 Degrees North. Seth Rundell on the return, held up by Aidenberger at the 25-yard line, and down he goes. Well, our partner Bob Nagel, who's not with us tonight because he's emceeing the dinner, always talks about get us a classic, get us a classic. I think we've got one so far in this one.
We definitely have the makings of it here, and that last drive was just over 6 minutes for Northridge. Took up a lot of time. That was a great job, and great job by Northridge.
So let's see what the Rockies do. They have scored on their first 2 possessions of the second half. Blake Reed having a big night running the football. Will they go back to him here? Sure, why not? He's got blockers in front. Reed puts his head down and picks up about 4 or 5 more right there. He's around 180 yards now for the night.
Doing a bunch of Plymouth games in the past, they wouldn't mind maybe a 9 or 10 minute drive here in this for this little comebacks drive here for him to take the lead, really get it in that deep into that fourth quarter with the lead.
Well, and this is the most the Rockies have been able to run the ball this season. Northridge coming out of blitz. Reed trying to get to the outside and does, and has the first down up to the 37-yard line. A good play by Austin Floria to get over there and knock him down. First down sponsored by the Jordan Auto Group. We've got a flag on the play.
Real late flag. And on that late flag, there was only one Northridge defender standing around about 5 Plymouth guys. So, and he was the one that was on the ground. So not sure what they're going to call on this.
Reese Luking trying to overhear the conversation of this officiating crew and figure out what the flag is all about. The down marker has not moved yet. And there's no flag on the play. Tom Wagaman apoplectic on the Northridge sideline. He's upset too.
They did pick up enough for the first down, so it will be 1st and 10 for the Rockies.
So 1st and 10 from the 37. As you take a look at Joe Barron, the Plymouth quarterback has 1 touchdown toss already tonight. Filson in motion. Barron looking his way, now lobs it out there to nobody.
That's got to be offensive pass interference, but I tell you what, if he doesn't do that, that's an interception right there.
Not only that, but I think Garrett Schremeyer may have thought that Barron was getting ready to run the football.
Well, it looked like they were setting up for a screen pass, and it was covered. It was a great job by Barron not throwing that. Instead, he's trying to throw it away. Here we can probably see a great look at it from our great crew, Bethel College replay.
And
right
look at Schremeyer just knock Bryce Justice head over to heels.
So it will move them back. We talked about penalties really killing a drive here. It happens on a first down play, so it will be 1st and 15 at this point.
Well, they keep walking backwards. It looks more like it's going to be 1st and 25, Bo. They mark it all the way back to the Rocky 22. That's further back than they were when they returned the kickoff.
Yeah, it'll be 1st and 20.
And
Gotta go
that
25, yeah.
That might seem how far it is to go right there for the Rocks. Filson in motion, Barrett a bullet, and he found Jacob Deacon. Deacon almost got all 25 in that one fell swoop. He got 24 of them, and he's having a big third quarter.
What a great slant route there. Good job by Barron hitting him on the money, so he's right on stride, able to get upfield and really pick up close to first down. It'll be 2nd and 1.
Well, this is what John Barron is telling people. He's the track coach at Plymouth. He knows speed, and his team has it, and that's why they've switched to this spread offense to get people out in space. And we've got 12 minutes of space to fill in a fourth quarter. But, man, what a third quarter it was here at Raider Field. There were scoring plays all over the place. Blake Reed started it off with one. Seth Rundell with one. Then they went up top and found Jacob Deacon. before the Raiders came back with a Tug Modulin carry, and Northridge leads at 23-20 going to the fourth on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week is brought to you by Bill's Heating, keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1951. And speaking of Bill's Heating, what's going on in the two huddles down there? Bill Beck, our sideline reporter, gives us his analysis of the third quarter in this Bill's Heating sideline report.
Well, given the fact that Tom Wogelman was just perplexed with all those penalties, Chuck and Bo look back at that touchdown drive by the Raiders, 65 yards, 14 plays, 0 penalties. They weren't going backwards. And like I said, that fourth down conversion by Graber, Moglen back in the game now. He's churning it up. He's had a whole hat to sit around and churn about this. Northridge has the momentum, but boy, I like the way this Plymouth offense is starting to click now.
Well, until that play, when Seth Rundell is taken down on a beautiful open field tackle by Austin Floria, who has had a couple of those tonight.
That play that Plymouth tried to run, that little quick hitch on the outside in the backfield, a little bit of a screen pass, Northridge has eaten it up all day long. They've been in that backfield. They haven't allowed any type of reception to get any gainage of yards. They're actually lost 6 yards on that play.
Joe Barron, 12 of 21 tonight for 111 yards, and he's got a big 3rd and 7 play that he's looking at here. The Plymouth quarterback fires, and it's almost intercepted. His receiver, once again, never turned around to look for the ball.
Had a few of those miscommunications tonight on that Plymouth Rocky offense. A lot of passes being thrown and receivers not being aware that the ball's even coming to them.
Well, John Barron has often been a gambling man over his career. He is 5 of 15 on 4th down this season. Would he dare go for it here back at his own 40-yard line? Joe Barron can also punt if need be. But Barron is looking to throw. And does, and has the first down. It's Jacob Deacon again for the first down, sponsored by Jordan Auto Group. A big pickup there for Barron and the Rockies.
Nice little bullet right there to Deacon. You can see him just wanting to get the ball, get the first down, not worrying about picking up any other yardage.
He really put that the only place he could.
Yep.
That play was well covered by Northridge. Midfield stripe, 1st and 10. Northridge showing blitz on the end. Now they drop out of it, and they give it to Reed, and look at Reed. Hurdle a man. Blake Reed, foot race, kissing good. Bye. No, he's got down at the 4.
Blake Reed again just having a highlight reel tonight. Carrying the Plymouth Rockies down to the 2-yard line. Great right up the middle Reed. Barron gives it to him. Great blocking, able to get up. Good sidestep on the tackler as well. Just not able to quite outrun the DB.
Give him 46 yards on the play, which brings him up to 221 for the night. Or excuse me, 226. That ain't shabby. 1st and goal from the 4. Barron rolls to his right, wants Schremeyer on the fade, and he fell down.
Imagineering Finishing Technologies is a world-class metal finishing company specializing in plating, coating, testing, and consulting services. 58 years as a knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. Reach us at info@iftworldwide.com.
Officially, Blake Reed, 18 carries, 232 yards so far tonight. And they'll pitch it to him here. Looking to turn the corner. He does. Touchdown, Rockies. And Plymouth surges back in front at 26-23.
What a great job by Blake Reed, really kind of turning a little bit of a broken play there. Northridge was able to get in the backfield, yet Reed was able to use his speed and his ability to cut upfield and dive across that goal line.
Blake Reed's 2nd touchdown of the night. 19 carries, 236 yards for the speedy senior. And now Dylan Gamble on to try the extra point. Rockies put it up, and it is good. 10-12 to go in regulation, and Plymouth back in front with a 27-23 lead. It was all done by Blake Reed. He set it up with a long run and then cashed it in for pay dirt. Here's the long run, a great trap block, and then look at the hurdle of the defender right there. That was something.
That was a great job by Blake Reed there, really getting out that. Remember, this drive started out, they were 1st and 25 when they started this drive. Looked like Blake looked like he might have looked to pass it on that play.
Well, he had a good downfield block by Garrett Schremeyer, the big 6'3" receiver, who got in the way of the only defender that could have stopped him.
Middlebury Chamber of Commerce invites you to the Middlebury Fall Festival next Friday and Saturday. Enjoy an antique tractor display, crafts, live music, kids zone, homegrown produce, great food, and fireworks. A big thank you to all the Middlebury Fall Festival sponsors. For a complete schedule of events, visit middleburyfestivals.com.
Plymouth touchdown sponsored by Michiana Contracting. Brecken Judd with another big special teams return across midfield. He'll go out of bounds around the 47. They officially spot him at the 48. Watch Judd. And the only guy that could catch him was Nicholas Kraft, who brought him down.
Another great field position advantage for Northwood. Another great specialty. I have a feeling John Behrens will be working on special teams a little bit this next week, especially that kickoff team, the coverage.
Well, I can tell you they worked on it quite a bit Tuesday when I was down there for practice. So it's not through a lack of work on it, but something isn't clicking there. And they'll have to go back to the drawing board. In the meantime, Julius Graber in at quarterback, his team down by 4 with 10 minutes to go. Graber ran into Modulin, then completes the pass to Floria, and Floria manages to pick up 5 on the play despite a near disaster in the backfield.
Yeah, a great pickup there. They're able to really pick up a good bit of yardage here on first down to start this drive. That's important to getting the drive started great.
Bill Beck with a Bills Heating sideline report and checking in, telling us Julius Graber was not on the field on defense that last possession, Bill?
Yeah, he was down here behind the Northridge bench getting his leg worked, his right leg worked on with a cramp, and it looked like his calf, his lower leg, and he was not for that big pass play that the Rockies had in the middle of the field there, and for that long run down. They did not have their starting free safety and leading tackler.
And our 46 crew caught Ricky Howie working on the leg of his teammate, trying to help him with that cramp. Meanwhile, a false start in the backfield for Northridge, and it'll be 2nd and 10. Matt Kowalski working that sideline camera tonight, picking up little bits of everything.
Another drive starting with a penalty for Northridge, not something Coach Wogelman is really happy about for sure.
Graber keeps it this time, went in behind the blocking of Lacey. Ezra Winkle forces him down. He gets back to the 43, so it's almost like throwing an incomplete pass on 2nd down because they're back to 3rd and 5.
Yeah, and I believe at this time in the game, this is a 4-down territory anyways at this point, so, you know, probably keep it on the ground here. If they pick up 2-3 yards, at least they get that even closer to that 4th down play.
Northridge with only 2 timeouts remaining. They used one early in the 3rd quarter to try to settle down this team. 3rd and 5, Graber, quarterback draw. And Graber short of the 1st down as he's brought down at the 40-yard line. It'll be 4th and about 2, and Graber slow to get up again.
Yeah, it looks like they're actually going to spot it back at the 39 or 41-yard line.
That makes it 4th and 3.
Yeah.
Well, let's take another look on the Bethel College admissions replay and look at the top of the screen. He had a couple of guys out there. Granted,
it almost like he had it in his mind that he was going to do the draw play right off the get. But, yeah, he had some guys wide open out there. Nobody covered them.
But that's part of selling the draw play, too. You want to bring those receivers or those cornerbacks away. Now on 4th down, here's Modulin. Going to the end zone. Touchdown, Northridge. Tug Modulin with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Raiders are back in front. It's like 2 heavyweights going toe-to-toe.
What a 4th down call, 4th and 4. give it to the up back, off the right side, off the right tackle, squirts through the hole, and no defender back there to get him.
And a big high 10 from Tom Wagaman, the head coach, as he comes to the sideline. Modulin, a tough kid. He drives motocross sometimes in the offseason, and he motored to the end zone that time. Laughlin with the extra point that's up and good. And with 7:48 to go in regulation, what a ball game we've got for you tonight. Cade Lacey, a great block to free Modulin, and he was even and leaving. And the Raiders are back in front on 46. And this edition of the TV46 High School Football Game of the Week is brought to you in part by the Indiana High School Athletic Association, partnering with TV46 for 28 years. The Friday night lights are on in Middlebury on a beautiful September evening for football, and what a game these fans have been treated to here tonight. Northridge with a 30-27 lead. The touchdown sponsored by the Middlebury Community Schools. They are also sponsoring our Facebook live stream tonight. The kickoff sponsored by 41 Degrees North, taken by Seth Rundell. Rundell will be on his feet all the way to the 27-yard line, and that's where Plymouth will take over 1st and 10. Full complement of timeouts, and the clock not yet a factor at 7:42.
Northridge really able to dominate kind of that first half, going into the half up 10, up 16-6. Plymouth able to come right out of halftime, get 2 quick scores, take the lead, and ever since then it's just been back and forth. Who's going to give up first? Who's going to back down first? Who's going to get tired first? I think that's who's going to wear out, and we'll see what happens here. 7.5, just over 7.5 to go. Plymouth with the ball down by 3.
Aaron keeps it himself on his own quarterback draw, and there was nothing doing that time as he was brought down by Dominic Crowder, the defensive tackle. Pick up a 1 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 9. A reminder, our 4th quarter brought to us by the Middlebury Fall Festival. You can enjoy it next Friday and Saturday, September 14th and 15th. 2nd and 9 from the 28. Rundell in motion, but they go the other way with Blake Reed. And Reed manages to get about 5 yards. Ricky Howie in on the tackle that time. The senior defensive end comes in with a big stop. It'll be 3rd and 4.
Thor Industry loves this time of the year because team pride is on full display. And that team culture from Friday Night Sidelines extends to our Thor Industry team. Build your future right here in Elkhart with one of Thor's excellent career opportunities. Get started today at ThorIndustries.com.
Bob Martin of Thor Industries, the former Purdue player, probably getting ready for Eastern Michigan and Purdue tomorrow on Pulse. Here's Joe Barron firing, almost intercepted. It's knocked down. It'll be 4th down and decision time for John Barron. You take the risk if you don't go for it here of not getting the ball back. If you do go for it and miss, you could give Northridge the ball deep in your own territory.
Yeah, exactly. This is one of those tough decisions that a head coach has to make. You know, Northridge had a drive of over 6.5 minutes early on in this game. And again, do you give the ball back to them on trying to go on 4th down, or do you just trust your team and try to get this 1st down?
This place has suddenly gotten loud. Joe Barron fires. It is complete to Garrett Schremeyer at the 40-yard line. Did he fumble it?
Now they're calling incomplete pass.
And Northridge will take over on downs.
Wow. Looked like he might have had it, maybe fumbled it, but now they're calling incomplete pass.
There's a Northridge player down on the field, and that's Tanner Baber holding his face. And we'll get another look at the play, courtesy of Bethel College Admissions. It was a bullet from Joe Barron. Schremeyer appeared to have it, and then Tanner Baber came over and broke it up. The ball squirting loose before he hit the ground. So the trainers and the coaching staff out on the field to take a look at Tanner Baber. 6:21 to go in regulation, and Northridge up by 3 on 46. Tanner Baber ran off the field under his own power. He stands at the 50-yard line sipping some water. And his teammates were giving him some helmet slaps, so you got to think it's not concussion. And hopefully he's okay and can return to this game. He's been a big factor in it for Northridge. Meanwhile, the Raiders take over deep in Plymouth territory at the 33-yard line. And Tom Wagaman's going to use one of his timeouts here to settle down his team and make sure they've got their composure.
Yeah, I think they need to understand what their philosophy here is. Yes, they want to take as much time off the clock, but they don't want to get out there and get undisciplined. They want to make sure that they still try to score here and make this a 2-score game.
So Saturday on the LaCie Family Broadcasting Corporation radio stations, we start you off at noon with the game at Ross-Ade Stadium between Eastern Michigan and Purdue, and then at 7:30 at night we take you down to Bloomington for Virginia and Indiana. A couple of interesting non-conference matchups in the Big Ten tomorrow on Pulse FM 103.1 FM. First and 10 from the 33. They give it to Modglin again, and Tug Modglin, who has 2 touchdowns in the second half, manages to battle for about 5 yards that time before he's knocked down. Ivan Winkle in on the stop for Plymouth.
Middlebury Community Schools, a top-achieving school district, is now accepting tuition-free transfer students. Middlebury Community Schools, where achievement and innovation are hallmarks of a great education.
Julius Graber ideally would bleed clock here and also put the ball in the end zone. That's the plan for Northridge. For Plymouth, they're looking to come up with a key stop here with 5:40 and counting. Modglin off the left side, stayed in bounds and got close to the first down if he didn't make it.
Looks like they're going to mark him back. So he must have stepped out of bounds just right at the marker.
They stop the clock so that the official can kind of get a look at the chains and see where the ball is set. And I think he might even bring the chain onto the field for the measurement.
Imaginary Finishing Technologies is an Indiana company that impacts industries worldwide. Over half a century of quality and excellence has made us the industry knowledge source. We support the efforts of the young people in this game, and we're working toward the same goal, and that is a great finish.
First down for Northridge, sponsored by Weaver Furniture Sales. John Barron looking on from the Plymouth sidelines, hoping his defense can come up with a big play. The clock starts as they move the chains. And again, Graber able to induce a Plymouth player to jump offside. This is at least the second time tonight it's happened, and you can tell by the expression on John Barron's face, not enamored with the play of his defense right now.
Still a lot of time left. Plymouth with 3 timeouts. They definitely have to come up with a big stop here. But I have to admit, Northridge really did a better job of not committing penalties themselves on their offensive drive this second half.
In the second half.
Yeah,
right.
in the second half, what Coach really wanted them to work on.
Modglin makes a cut, heads to the end zone, touchdown, his third of the night.
What a great move, great cut. Might be the number. That's a great number he's wearing there. But
21 in green never looks so good.
Exactly. Great cut, great move. Big score by the Raiders and a big second half by Modglin.
So Tug Modglin's third touchdown of the second half. And the Raiders about to go up by 10, which was the margin at halftime. They need one more player on the field to line them up for the extra point. Out of the hold of Oliver Eveler, Nolan Laughlin's kick is up, and it is good. And with 4:57 to go, the Raiders extend the lead to 10, and they just keep tugging along here thanks to Mr. Modglin. who might have flinched a little bit for a false start there.
Yeah, I want to go back to, he violated the team rule, and they suspended him for the first half. And you can take that as a player two different ways coming out in the second half. One, you can be like, oh, I'm kind of mad because I sat the first half, or you can do what he's done this second half. Come out and show that he wants to be a part of this team and he can contribute to this team and really show them what he can do. And he's done a great job here in the second half.
He's played with a lot of energy in the second half, and he's given them some fresh legs, quite frankly, on a night where everybody else is kind of feeling it a little bit.
Exactly, and I think that's a great job of what Coach Rogerman instills into his team. It's a team-first game, and you got to respect your team first. And I believe, the way he's come out in the second half and represented his team by sitting that first half, he's done a great job, and quite frankly, might have earned the player of the game in that last run.
Kickoff sponsored by 41 Degrees North, and it goes into the end zone for the touchback. Plymouth trying to run it, but that ball was back in the end zone, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe the ball was touched and then rolled in the end zone.
Typically, if a ball goes into the end zone, even if it goes off a player's hands, they say the momentum of the ball would have gone in. But
yeah, you can see Coach Barrett out there on the field wondering what the heck's going on. There might be an explanation down there between the refs. Maybe Bill can find out by the side ref here after they break up what the call was.
A long chat here, and John Barron is not going to like this call because they're going to keep it where it is at the 4-yard line. You're going to get another copy of it courtesy of Bethel College Admissions. It barely touched the fingertips of Reed. It rolled 8 yards deep into the end zone, but they said once it touched Reed's hands, it was a live ball. I've seen that call interpreted differently in the past. In the meantime,
correct.
Here's Garrett Schremeyer picking up a first down, sponsored by the Jordan Auto Group. 11-yard pickup on the play.
Plymouth's got to go in a hurry here. They're down by 10, down 2 scores. Just under 5 minutes to go, so they have to move in a hurry here.
Have to move, and then hopefully for their part, recover an onside kick.
They'd like to pick up big chunks of yards here at a time.
Barron rolling out. He's going to keep it himself. He's got room to run along the sidelines, then steps out of bounds to stop the clock after picking up another first down, sponsored by the Jordan Auto Group.
Some big yards he picked up there. If he was able to maybe tippy-toe that sideline, he might have picked up another 10, 15, but a good job of really picking up the first down and getting out of bounds.
He got out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Here's what Bo's talking about. You could see some acreage, although there were defenders closing on the play.
They were closing in, yep.
Barron fakes to Blake Reed, throws and completes the pass to Schremeyer, the big split end. Gets it up to about the 38-yard line.
Close to the first down, but not quite enough. The clock will continue to run, closing in on 4 minutes in the fourth quarter.
You see that clock in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen on the Thor Industries scoreboard. 2nd and 2. Barron looking to the sidelines, directing traffic. He sends Cole Filson over to the slot on that side. Barron wants to throw and threw it over the head of Jacob Deacon.
Good coverage on the defense for Northridge on that as well. Even if it was on the money, that might have been intercepted.
That was, I think, a throw that said, let's live to play another down.
Yeah. 3rd down, 2 here for the Rockies. A big 3rd down for Northridge defense, but of course, Plymouth will go for it on 4th down as well.
Warsaw winner tonight over Elkhart Memorial, 14-7. Here's a handoff. Reed on a draw play gets the first down, which is important here. It's sponsored by the Jordan Auto Group. Stops the clock as they move the chains. The ball still in Plymouth territory, just past the 40. Blake Reed with a terrific game tonight rushing the football. Barron drops the football. Now picks it up. It's still a live ball, and he throws it incomplete as he got outside the tackle box. No, flag comes in. We might see intentional grounding.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. It looked like there was a guy downfield out of bounds, and he threw it that way, unless there was an illegal man downfield.
Well, that's a possibility, too. We'll see what the officials decide here, and it's intentional grounding called against Plymouth. That's a loss of down on the play. Watch Barron. He drops the ball here, picks it up, and the question would be, well, he's well outside the tackle box by that time. But did he get the ball back to the? He threw the ball past the line of scrimmage too.
Yeah, and it looked like the ball was completely out of bounds when he threw it.
Well, 2nd and 20, and the Rockies trying to overcome a ton of adversity here that started with the kickoff. Barron looks to throw down the field, looking for Rendell, and he makes the catch at the 46. That's good for a first down. It's sponsored by the Jordan Auto Group. What a catch by Seth Rendell.
What a great adjustment by Rendell to adjust to that ball, defender right on him. Spun around one way, turned his head the other way, was able to make that catch for a big first down, give Plymouth some life.
Still 3:24 to go. Referee starting the clock. Barron wants to throw again. It's a bullet over the middle. He's got another first down up to the 37-yard line as Schremeyer made the catch here. They're going to spot him short, say he's about a yard short. 2nd and 1. We go under 3 minutes to go in regulation.
Plymouth still with the 3 timeouts, so if they were to score quickly here, 2 minutes to go or so, they still technically could kick it deep and not go for the onside.
Northridge, though, happy to consume some time here. Barron's throw too high for Rundell.
Almost intercepted as well. Just off the hands of Rundell and off the hands of the defensive back for Northridge.
And now Plymouth looking at a 3rd and 1. He had Rundell open. He put it just a smidge too high. But the clock does stop with 2:42 to go. Raider fans stomping their feet, making some noise. That's why you see the clock shaking. Barron fires again too high. It's 4th and 1.
Last few passes to that side of the field to his left side have been high passes. He hasn't really been on the mark, been a little high on those passes. Seems like when he goes that right side or the fade route, he's able to throw that pass a little bit better. Big 4th down here. Got to get the first down to stop the clock.
Barron threw for 162 yards against Kokomo, 151 last week against Warsaw. He needs 1 here to keep the drive alive. Will they go to Reed on the ground? They do. And Blake Reed got the first down up to the 35. It's sponsored by Jordan Auto Group. Julius Graber trying to wave it off, but he moved the chains easily.
Julius Graber came up, made the stop right at the line to gain, but Blake Reed was able to really carry him forward and pick up that first down.
Down to 2.5 in regulation. Barron with trips to his left. Barron rolls right. He's looking for Schremeyer, and he threw it too far for him. It's incomplete. Schremeyer was well covered on the play. And guess who? Julius Graber out there playing another game in the backyard.
Joe Barron over to the sideline getting the call from Mike Kirshner.
Mike, the longtime offensive coordinator for the Rockies. Terrific game here in Middlebury tonight, and it's not quite over yet. Barron rolls right, has time, stepping up, going for Schremeyer, and it is incomplete, but we have a flag, and Graber's going to be called for pass interference.
Yeah, the throw, he was open, the throw was underthrown a little bit. Julius didn't really look back for that ball, and definitely is going to pick up that pass interference call.
You see this done all the time, and You see Graber all over Schremeyer that time.
That's one of those. I mean, you can maybe call the face guarding, but they don't have that anymore. He is looking back. He's almost like he's defending the post on that play, and he doesn't have anything a hold of the guy.
But I think there probably was contact made, and that contact may have been enough to keep Schremeyer from coming back to the ball.
Yeah.
What I was trying to say was, in college and pro ball, you see quarterbacks underthrow receivers intentionally all the time to try to draw that call, and that's exactly what happened right there. First down sponsored by the Jordan Auto Group. Barron going up top, wants Rundell, underthrew him. Rundell was trying to curl back to that ball and just couldn't quite get there. You get another copy courtesy of Bethel College admissions.
This might be the time Plymouth's starting to just kind of throw it up a little bit. Maybe Northridge drops a couple safeties back to play over the top and really read those underthrows, throwing balls, and able to come up and pick them off.
Oliver Eveler had the coverage that time. And now a timeout being taken by Northridge. I think Tom Wogeman wants to give his defense a little bit of a break. They've been out there for a number of plays, so we'll take it as well. 2:05 to go in regulation. The Raiders lead it by 10, but Plymouth is marching once again on 46. That's what it looks like on the Plymouth sidelines. Bill Beck, you're standing near the Northridge sidelines. Let's get you for a Bills Heating sideline report. What's the mood down there right now?
Right now, the defense coach, Mike Logan and Tom Wogeman, they just want to get these Raiders inspired right now, not to give up the big play to have it go over top of their head. They're willing to let time go off the clock for yards. They can't let the ball go over top of their head right now, Chuck.
All right, thank you, Bill. Bill's sideline report sponsored by our friends at Bill's Heating. 2:05 to go. Northridge leading 37-27. Rundell in motion. Barron going for the end zone. Touchdown, Schremeyer. Garrett Schremeyer with the touchdown catch, his 4th of the year. And Plymouth an extra point away from closing within a field goal.
Great job by Joe Barron, really splitting the defenders there on that pass, throwing it right to the seam, not putting enough air onto it for the DB to get there and close on it. Right on the money.
Second touchdown pass of the night for Joe Barron, and Bill Beck saying that was the worst nightmare for the Northridge coaching staff because they've left 2 minutes and 2 seconds on the clock. Gamble's important extra point is up and good, and Plymouth back within 3 at 37-34. Let's get one more look from Bethel College admissions at the Barron to Schremeyer connection. And Barron was given time by his offensive line that time, but a great route run by Schremeyer.
Yeah, and you got two defenders right there that you can't let him get behind you like that. Even if he fakes on the inside, the guy over the top still has to be behind him to defend over the top. So, I mean, I'm sure Coach Wogeman and Logan talked about that in that timeout and said nothing over your head, and the very first thing is he makes a little cut and up the field and gets behind the defenders.
Now the special teams, which have been disastrous for Plymouth all night long, need to come up with a big play for the Rockies. Northridge doesn't really look like they're in an onside kick formation here, but now they start to bring some people up, and they've got 8 within 10 yards of the ball. Gamble approaches. Onside kick. It is recovered by Northridge at midfield. Good sure hands that time by the Raiders. And they will come away with the football and have to kill 2:02 off the clock. But as you mentioned, Bo, all the timeouts still in the satchel for John Barron.
Yeah, definitely 3 timeouts. Bad thing is Northridge is able to run the ball really well this second half. And they really have to step up defensively for the Rockies right here. Their defensive line has to get penetration in that backfield and slow them down in the backfield.
By the way, that was Andrew Lockwood on the onside kick recovery for Northridge. Raiders give it to Tug Modulin. 3 touchdowns in the second half and a nice 7-yard run right there.
Not exactly what Plymouth needed in Coach Barron right there on first down. A big 7-yard pickup. Great job by Northridge play calling on that, giving it to Tug.
John letting the clock tick right here. A little surprising.
Well, it's one of those where if they pick up the first down and you call the timeout right now, then you're done at that point. So he's going to go ahead and let this play run and then still have the opportunity after this play to either stop the clock on third down or stop it on their first down.
And Graber will milk the play clock as deep as he can. It's at 5 right now. Graber runs up with his running back, and Graber hung on to the football and got the first down. It's sponsored by Weaver Furniture Sales. The clock will stop briefly as they move the chains. Barron held on to his timeouts. He'll start using them now.
Yeah, now there's only going to be like 25 seconds that's going to run off. No, he did go ahead and use the first timeout there.
He didn't want the clock to start right away.
Yep.
So what happens if Northridge hangs on?
They actually gave him third down.
I'm surprised that they didn't. If I were Plymouth, I'd be asking for a measurement, hoping that they got the first down here, but maybe they can eyeball it from where they are right now.
I thought for sure they had picked up the first down.
So 3rd and 1, that explains why they stopped the clock. In the meantime, should Northridge hang on and win this game, well, we're going to see them again in a couple weeks at Northwood, but they got a tough task next week with Bart Curtis's Warsaw Tigers coming here to Raider Field. And then could be a huge NLC showdown at Andrews Field in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that could be one of the games for the conference. Very wide open conference this year. A lot of great teams here in Northridge trying to put away the Rockies.
Modulin on 3rd and 1 got the first down. It's sponsored by Weaver Furniture Sales. He goes down at the 35-yard line. Now the clock stops as they move the chains. And now we'll see if John Barron uses another timeout here. You almost have to.
Yeah, the clock's not actually going to start on the first down, and so you're actually going to run off of only about 25 seconds. So he would not call until after this play. And there's still going to be maybe only a couple seconds left on 4th down, so it's going to be almost one of those where it's going to be very close to running the game clock completely out after it's done with timeouts.
Graber gives it off. This is Cade Lacey picking up about 5 on the play. And there's John Barron using the timeout. Garrett Hogg on the tackle. And it'll be 2nd and 5 for Northridge. Well, what about the Rockies? They got to find a way to bounce back from this. They could fall to 2-2 on the year if they don't pull off a miracle here. They have Elkhart Memorial coming down to the rock pile next week. That's not as easy as it may have looked for some people. Scott Shaw's team, even though they lost to Warsaw tonight, playing much tougher. And then Wawasee, the traditional scrap with Concord and Goshen. So some would say a favorable schedule for the Rockies, but right now, if you're John Barron, you got to find some answers defensively.
Yeah, and I think these next 4 weeks, he should be able to do that. The schedule is in their favor the next 4 weeks. They should be able to go 4-0 in those games. But again, there's some tough competition in there. Memorial's playing well. Goshen's surprising some people. Concord.
I was going to say, Craig Kaler might want to have a word with you about that 4-0 comment.
That's one of those games where they have a lot of blood out for each other, and it's a big battle as well.
Graber gives it to Modulin, and did he take a lick? Hangs on to the football, and I believe this is Plymouth's final timeout right here. Kendall Hines laid the lumber to him that time.
Yeah, this is Plymouth's final timeout. After this play, Northridge will be able to just take a knee or let their time run out, actually, because there'll be less than 40 seconds on the play clock.
And Julius Graber and the Raiders celebrating. Who would have thunk, certainly before Tom Woggeman took the job here at Northridge, that the Raiders would ever beat Plymouth 3 straight years in football?
Yeah, I mean, 18 games in a row, I believe, is what they were at. And then the last 2, Northridge, and now 3, what a great job Coach Wogeman's done in this program, really getting them to that next step, getting them over that hump. And this has become a great rivalry game between these two guys as well. You know, two coaches, two class acts that really play together.
This will be his 40th win as the Northridge football coach. And the third straight year that the Raiders have beaten Plymouth. Graber takes a knee, and they cannot stop it. And Northridge is going to come away with a thrilling 37-34 victory over Plymouth tonight in a wild game here at Raider Field. Now stick around. We've got a lot coming up in our post-game coverage. Sponsored by the Middlebury Fall Festival, September 14th and 15th. We'll have our IU South Bend Fulfilling the Promise Player of the Game and our Electrical Workers Electrifying Play of the Game. It all comes your way next as Northridge has beaten Plymouth 37-34 on the 46 Game of the Week.
Watching the WHME TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week. Brought to you by
Welcome, everybody, to the Middlebury Fall Festival post-game show, and they will have something to talk about at the festival next weekend, especially an exciting game like this one where Northridge toppled Plymouth 37-34 in a seesaw affair. Chuck Freeby and Bo Hunt high above the fray, and that's almost like a ride at the fair. You want to do it again.
Yeah, what a great game we got to watch tonight. Both sides of the ball, 16-6 at half. We saw a lot of scoring early, slowed down a little bit. In the second half, it really took over, and two great teams.
Well, the second half surge was led by our IU South Bend Fulfilling the Promise Player of the Game. Bill Beck is standing by with him and the head coach of the Raiders, Tom Wogeman. Bill, take it away.
Hey, we're back here after the big win by the Northridge Raiders. Conference champs, still unbeaten this year. I'm with head coach Tom Wogeman of the Raiders and Tug Modulin of the Raiders. First, I want to go to Coach real quick. Tug had to sit for the half. That was something you guys talked about this week. How did it inspire him himself and the rest of this team to see the way he came in?
Man, I tell you what, Bill. I mean, here was the deal. Tug had to sit. It wasn't a major infraction. And he'll tell you right now, it was late to a couple meetings, and we said there's consequences to that. And so what it was he sat for a half. And here's the great thing about where Tug is at, where our team was at. Is at halftime, all of a sudden I said, "Tug, you ready to go?" And you could see the look in his eye, and the whole team rallied at that point. The great thing about where this team's starting to do is they're starting to look at each other as far as part of the family, and everybody began to rally on that battle cry. And so, Tug had a great game. Julius had a great. Cade Lacey had a great first half, and continued to block like a possessed man. And the offensive line really did the job up front. Man, what a fun game to watch and be a part of, and just at times just as almost a spectator just watching this game unfold.
And that's 3 straight over Plymouth, so you had to sit for a half. How much did that mean to you to have to sit and look and then come in, and how did that inspire you once you took the field?
I mean, at first it was really a big downer, standing on the sideline watching my team taking on Plymouth. And I think my team was really there for me when I had to be sitting out, and they were really amping me up a little bit, getting me excited, getting me ready to go. And when it came time to run the ball, I was ready. And, yeah, it was awesome.
113 yards and 3 touchdowns. I thought about not a bad half of football. Congratulations to you. Good luck next week. Big game.
I just want to let you know Tug will be suspended next week as well.
Okay. There you go. There you go, Bart. You heard it right here. Back to you, Bo and Chuck.
Oh, by that time, Tug had recovered and was happy with that. Julius Graber meeting some of the fans down there. Oh, they've got those big fat heads of Julius, that distinctive haircut, and kisses from family members and maybe some non-family members offering those as well. He played a whale of a game. But our electrifying play of the game was the go-ahead touchdown by Mr. Modulin in the fourth.
Yeah, it was just a great run and a great read as well. He was able to get it, and you can see it here on the electrifying play. Just cuts up the middle and then just gets to 2 defenders who had an angle on him, but he had such great speed and he was so fresh that he was able to split those 2 defenders. They weren't able to touch him, and he was able to race to the score.
You heard Tom Wogeman talk about the blocking of Cade Lacey in the second half, and that was a Lacey block that sprung him there to the end zone for the game-winning score. So The Raiders win at 37-34. They are now 3-1 on the year. Plymouth at 2-2. And next week we're going to be on the banks of the Elkhart River for a good one between St. Joe and Elkhart Central in the NIC, but it's going to have to go a long way to top this one tonight.
It definitely is. You know, the defense for Northridge as well, Tanner Baber, just a great job that he did as well. I want to throw a shout out to him. Next week, great game. It's two teams that are going to go for the NIC North and try to take down Penn, and these two teams can't have a loss, but one of them's going to have one next week.
Absolutely. Our thanks to our TV 46 crew who helped bring you this one tonight, led by our producer-director, Joe Fertina, and the rest of our talented team. A reminder, we've got college football on Pulse FM 103.1. Tomorrow at noon, it's Eastern Michigan and Purdue, and then Saturday night at 7:30, Virginia takes on Indiana. And as we mentioned, next Friday night, Rice Field, the new field turf, will be on display as the Elkhart Central Blue Blazers, number 8 in Class 5A this week, take on the St. Joe Indians, ranked 9th in 4A. We'll have it for you Friday night at 11, Saturday morning at 9, and live on Facebook at 7 p.m. Now from our broadcast partners, the Hall of Famers, Bo Hunt and Bill Beck, this is Chuck Freeby. Once again, the final score, Northridge 37, Plymouth 34. So long from the beautiful Crystal Valley.